ship here, I think.
This is the same depth as the ship can have.
There we go, we're live now.
Live?
No swearing. Oh,
That's been like that all night.
That's what it keeps doing. What even is that?
that was a bleep on your middle rod.
I suppose I asked for that one.
Yeah, you did. You set yourself up for a fail. So how many of you are keeping in this bivvy tonight?
Just two of us. Jay's just come down from Ireland.
Has it? Just to say hello.
You can snuggle in if you want.
I knew you were coming to spoon in tonight.
That's the one.
Full moon and all that.
It's essential. Vaseline's an essential element of
Yeah,
it.
well, he asked me.
Do you know
for
what?
that.
Your missus didn't click on straight away the other day. When it was live on
Yeah, live.
YouTube.
Got no viewers.
Oh, quality.
We'll just have a
your
bit of a
missus
laugh.
didn't click on the other day when I came home. I was feeding baby. And I said, Dan, have you got your Vaseline? And Claire went, yeah, it's on the side.
Yeah, that went way over it, mate.
There we go. So you've got your first viewer on now.
Hey.
Live at Salford Quays.
I got a ball game for summer. Fucking USB, 2 USB stands for summer.
I've not seen you out fishing for a while.
What bait are we on? Boilies.
We have, obviously Dan's rods are there.
Grid's good.
Yeah.
Dan's on,
What's Dan on?
what's your left hand rod on Dan?
Citrus pop-up.
Citrus pop-up middle rod.
Middle rod.
Snowman.
Snowman. Yeah.
Citrus.
Yeah.
Pop-ups. 20mm and a 15mm.
Trimmed down out
Trimmed
there.
down.
And the right hand rod.
I've got a single
Malted milk.
DNA.
That's
Is it DNA?
Yeah, DNA
Yeah.
base, yeah. And on mine, I have got on the left hand rod, I've got a 20mm cultured citrus
Yeah.
bait. So that just break down to a 20mm. I think it was like 23, 24mm when I put it out. Obviously, it'll just break down in between it. Middle rod, I've got it out on a 50-50, so a Tiger Nut citrus from Chorus,
Yeah.
topped with a Alpha citrus pop-up, and then my right hand rod, I've gone for a straight up citrus pop-up, topped with about as many maggots as I can get on a maggot.
Oh, you put some maggots. Oh, you're gonna get annoyed then by bits and bream, aren't you? You got anything with maggots on here?
Well, a lad came over to me earlier on, a lad called the Curly Carper, and he looked for maggots. He said, "You fishing maggots?" He said, "You might get mired by a big perch." And he said, "There's a big perch in here." I said, "I'll take a big perch."
Yeah, but there's no big perch.
Isn't that?
No. Did he say you get a big perch?
He said, "There's some big perch in here."
Yeah. Well, it depends what you call a big perch.
I'll take a 15-pound bream.
Yeah, you might. You could take a 15-pound perch as well, but you're more likely to get a 12 ounce. The difference between a small perch on here is the small perch weighs 6 ounces and the big perch weighs 12. So, but we could do with some better lighting. I'm a bit rubbish on the lighting here. Never mind.
Yeah, what?
Do you know what? I'm just learning how to do it at the moment, so I don't mind.
I can up you up from that.
Can you? Oh, get the light on the rods. But I nearly went to Tool Station today and bought a halogen lamp on a battery that I can fit, on a Makita battery, on a 6 amp battery. But if I'm going to do it more often, which I am,
Yeah.
then we need to get it sorted.
Oh, did I tell you about me? So I bought a camera in the summer.
Oh right, what sort?
A Canon 200D or something like that.
Yeah.
And I went down, and it was when I had that fully scaled out the old river that made the magazine.
Yeah.
And it was at the time I just got my camera, and I took.
Oh, there we go. Look, action. Single beep on the middle rod again. The ghost of the middle rod.
I took it down. I'm tackling mine's run at the time. And
Yeah.
I took a picture. It was a portrait picture of Ashley, one of the volunteers.
Oh yeah. That's a bit better now. We've got something to stick. That's better.
And you know, it made it into the Manchester Evening News, the first portrait picture.
You're joking. Well done. So, yeah, if you go on YouTube now, you'll see yourself live. Go on, Dave.
I do get notifications saying you're on live though.
Yeah, but I've been doing loads of little test ones
Yeah,
recently.
Fishing friend live.
Yeah, go on, stick it on. It's because I've been like learning how to get it done properly. I'm having to do like lots of 10-minute little testers, which annoy people. But
That's quality, that.
did it come up all right? Was the screen like? That looks like good. Send us go in live chat and send me a message. We'll keep it clean.
Why has that come off? Battery's not died on that, is it? Oh, it's something.
Got a dodgy battery.
I've not charged it. That's about.
There you go. Might be on a timer as well. So what's your biggest carp from Salford Quays then? You ever caught a carp from the
I lost one in the spring. That's why I've come back for redemption.
Well, you know me, I very rarely weigh them. I had that fish called Popeye, the one that's died now.
Oh, has it died now?
I think that's died now. And yeah, you got a hello from Aaron. Hello, Aaron. It's a good job we're learning how to do it, isn't it? I've still got one friend out there. But yeah, I caught that fish Popeye, the big common.
Yeah.
Earlier this year. Well, no, 18 months ago. And had it on hemp and 14mm halibut pellet.
Right. Whereabouts did you have it?
On the basin behind us, on Ontario basin.
Oh, Ontario.
And some lads have been on all weekend without a bite. And I said to them, where have you put your feed? And they said, we've just put our feed down here on the side. So I said, all right, I'm going to jump in your grave then. They were packing up. And they said, yeah, be my guest. Within half an hour of them going,
You had one.
I've got one.
You had one, yeah.
Which is fantastic.
I think little J Larry's had the biggest out the old river so far.
What's that?
He didn't put scales to it, but it probably I'd say at least 17.
Yeah, well, I reckon we're gonna get a 20 out of the old river. And we're gonna get a 20 out of Drinkies this year.
Well, that quarry's a 20 in there already, but.
I mean, here now, Caden gave us that surprise last year because we all thought that the biggest fish in here was like a mid-20.
Well, but
And then he's had that 34.
It was 33.
It was 34.6
Was it 34.6? So,
Yeah.
but he had it in summer.
when it's a bit fatter.
No, when it's dropped weight,
Ah.
it spawned.
Do you think? Yeah, well,
this
maybe.
is when they're fatter now in spring. So that could potentially be a 37.
Yeah, possibly. Well, yeah, on the middle rod,
There is
those
a few
beeps.
unknown fish in here that have been sold. That
Well,
haven't come out.
I know there's a few unknown fish because I know that fish from the Irwell occasionally jump across the barrier, allegedly helped. But I mean, we stocked. When did we stock it? The last time we stocked it.
2017, was it?
No, it's
18?
before that. It was 2016.
16, so was that before the old river?
Yeah. Oh, Andy Boyne's watching the live. Hello, Andy Boyne.
Yeah.
Andy Boyne, go on the chat on the live blog. We're on the Quays, and with Aaron we're blanking at the moment. He's been here hours because he's rubbish. He'll be here for days and he won't catch a fish.
Got dropped off at 2.
But I've come along to bring him some luck.
About 4:30 by the time I got around.
Yeah, it's a hard venue in winter, this, to be fair. But if you like me, I'm desperate to get out of the house tonight because my wife's a bit potty. So, putting it mildly, she's been out with her friends this afternoon. So a Sunday afternoon out with her friends. I've been minding the kids. It's been raining. It's been horrible. We've got cabin fever. And as soon as Aaron sent me a picture of him on the Quays, I said, I'm just going out, I'll be an hour and I'll come home with the curry. So that means, my hour means I'll be home about 10 o'clock.
With a curry.
With a curry that I won't share with her. So what I'm looking at doing, obviously it's a bit difficult to learn the setup for this, so what I'm going to look at doing is, I'm going to get a better tripod. I'm going to use, for the time being, my mobile phone.
Yes.
But what I'm going to do is then I'm going to use a tablet as well, so that I can actually sit and type.
Sit and type, yeah.
And type and have a chat with everybody, because at the moment if I start touching my phone and the picture goes like that.
Well, you want to get, obviously, you feel the stars on that tripod.
Yeah, but this tripod is excellent because it cost me £2 from Poundland at the shopping centre in Manchester. It was £6, but it's now been reduced to
Difference
£2.
when that cost 70 quid.
I know. So obviously this is this is a real high cost setup that we're using.
At Curry's, they do quite a lot of vlogging kits.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But like you've got that cam. I've got this Sony
I would have gone for it. My
A5000.
budget was kind of like, I had about 800 quid.
Well, I bought it for a lot less than that. It cost me about 140, 150 quid second hand. But the problem with it is that whilst it's a good camera, I can't Bluetooth it to my laptop. I can only do it via wire.
Yeah.
Which is fine, which I might do. But it hasn't got an external jack for a microphone.
That's the only issue I've got with mine.
So I realised when I did that last blog on the Bridgewater Canal and Monton, where I parked near the road, and all you could hear was the cars going past behind me. And when I did that, I realised, hang on, I need to up the sound quality a little bit.
Yeah, so mine's the exact same. I've got a Rode mic in there, but it don't go in. Because it's not got a jack, which is a bit of a bummer.
Oh, Andy Boyne says that he can't have a channel on YouTube. He can't have an account or whatever it is on YouTube. But I mean, he has been banned from everywhere else, so it's not surprising me, Andy.
Is he banned from Salford Friendly Anglers?
No, he's not yet. It's not surprising that Andy Boyne's been banned from YouTube or banned from having an account. But actually, Andy, we have just been discussing angling directs in Warrington. The pros and cons of different angling direct stores in our area, and obviously me being a Salford lad, I've got to pick up angling direct in Swinton.
I popped in the other day.
Who always look after me very well.
Yeah, no, I popped in the other day. Alex was working behind the
yeah, young Alex is now working behind the till there.
Alex, I went and bought some national culture.
So we'll all be looking to use Alex's shop discount now. Alex, can you use your shop discount card for me?
There's a couple of lads that fish the old river that work in angling direct.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I think one guy just left, Stuart. Big predator fisherman.
Yes, yeah.
He's just left now.
So I think the shop manager's just left as well.
Yeah. Actually, we'll find out.
So I think it won't be long before
Jay, your shop manager just left? No. At Warrington?
No, Salford.
Oh, Salford one.
The Salford one's just...
Yeah.
What's he called, Jay?
Yeah, Jay.
Jay, do you work with Andy Boyne? Yeah, Andy's watching the live stream now. He is, yeah, small world. Yeah. So when Jay comes back into work next week and said he fished the Quays and he was only there for 3 hours and he had 2 upper 20s and a low 30, you'll know he's not telling the truth.
This is what fishing is about, just chilling, hanging out, it's getting out of the house. I'm not asked about catching, mate. I was like, damn, we need to go.
Mate, you don't think I'm going to catch the cold, mate?
No, I don't know about that. This venue surprises you sometimes.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
I said never say never.
That's it. It is never say never.
I have some huge tench out here.
I've seen some huge change. So when I lost a carp in the spring on the St Francis Basin,
Yeah.
I had it for about 20 minutes out, and a couple of lads from Derby were doing a bit of an urban stint. So we came Quays, went to Bridgewater Canal up at the moorings.
Yeah.
We did the old river, just part lake venues and urban stuff, because they haven't really got it in Derby. So where they're from, and I lost one in St Francis Basin. I had it out there, solid 20 minutes. It was coming in. It was coming in. I said to me, it's coming in now. And whoever decided to put these big metal cages in.
Well, I actually know that man.
Do you know that man?
Yeah,
Is he sat in that chair by any chance?
No, it's not me.
Yeah, whoever
Before my time.
Whoever decided to put them big metal cages in, it was coming in and it knew exactly what it was doing, mate. It literally just came in and went.
What metal cages?
So if you go into the back basins,
Yeah.
how can I explain? The best way I can explain it is, do you know, whenever you go, someone with a big posh house and they build a retainer wall out of them cages with rocks in.
And they put them in a steel mesh cage.
Put them in a steel mesh cage. There's
Yeah.
some of them in the back basins, and they basically put them in so the small fish could go in to stop the cormorants. And I lost a
But there, the reasons why they put them there was that they used to have lily pads on the top of them,
Right.
so they were like a feature. But sadly, that basin's going to be lost when they redevelop all over there. St Francis Basin just St Francis Basin is going to become a floating a floating lido.
So the fish are still going to be able to get underneath it.
Yeah. But he's going to ruin it for the anglers. So that's why we were asking for compensation, but it's difficult to get compensation for something that you don't actually pay anything. Because we get the fishing rights for free.
Yeah, that's a bit difficult.
It is, yeah. But then we're arguing.
Ask him how much compensation he asked for.
Yeah, our argument is that we've got loss of amenity value. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is true. But then they turn around and say, well, how much have you paid for this amenity value? We say, £1 a year peppercorn rent. So it was a nice try, but it never really worked out.
That's for 20 grand.
He asked for 20 grand.
20 grand in compensation.
Yeah, because if you lose that water there, you can't fish on it, and we have to get another water and get it up to a similar standard.
Well, that's,
It will cost us
out of the
20,000
three
quid.
back basins, that's the only one you can actually plonk up on, isn't it?
Well, what annoys me most is that back basin, that St Francis basin where they're building the swimming pool on, is the main spawning basin for all of the fish in the Keys. So it's going to damage the entire ecology of the Keys. I mean, in reality, what we actually need them to do is to allocate an area of the Keys and fill it in so that we've actually got a shallow area. Because obviously this is just like a fish tank, and it's straight down, straight down sides and 30 foot on the bottom. So
It is just a big tank.
Andy Boyne's still watching. He sent us 4 messages so far, and I can't read any of them.
Why?
Because, well, let me have a look. Because if I do that, it takes his messages. Here we go. Cheers, Mike. Watching the live blog. Go on, Aaron. Let's have one. I don't have a channel, so can't comment. Aaron was in my shop this morning. Best of luck, fella.
Yeah.
There we go. Great catch, mate. Tripod.
Have you tried them then?
Get a catch, mate, tripod. They come with a nightlight, and then we've got loads of laughing emojis where he's just making fun of us.
Oh, there's close to 400 crucian carp being delivered to the old river tomorrow.
Is that how many come in? 400?
Yeah, just short of 400.
He'll always bring us a few extra.
Yes,
So,
but he's giving us bigger sizes as well.
what I'll blog that as well, so everyone can see it going in. I'm surprised no one's complained about the fact we're going to just feed the pike. But
There was a couple of comments, I think,
I've not read the comments. I just
was
saw
it
you
in the
guys.
comments yet about feeding the
I've
pike?
seen that,
Yeah, I agree a little
Oh,
bit.
it's just,
But you can't keep it.
you're trying something.
Well, the nice thing is, if they stick, then we'll catch them when we have matches in the summer. And if if they don't do well in there, then we won't catch them. Then we'll know not to repeat it.
That's basically they just took the chance.
When are you going to buy a 30 pounder?
We're not. We're going to wait for you lads to feed a 3-pounder up. We want you to go to Angling Direct in Warrington or Salford, buy loads and loads of kilos of very expensive boilies,
Whatever I don't use here,
and then feed them up.
I shit, you know, I said about getting a GoFundMe page, do you know what I mean? Get that done.
What, have you seen the price of a 30-pounder?
The easiest way is to go and put in some 3-pounders. They grow by about 3 to 4 pound a year, and then obviously, like we've got them now upper doubles.
Yeah.
This year we're going to get a 20 out of it, and it's only like 2 or 3 years away before one of those fishes is 30, because we're now going to start this feeding program with pellet every year. So every month there's going to be a sack of pellet going, and that'll bring them on, and that's the way to do it. Because if you buy I'd hate to think what a £30 carp costs.
You look. I have looked, and it starts getting very, very, very silly. So I said to you, it works out around about 2006 to 2008 for a 30. But why it's that expensive?
Well, so £3 for a 30.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, it was cheap.
Yeah, I thought that would be cheap as well, and we've already had experience here in other places. When you do have a big carp, someone comes along and nicks it, so you'd have to chip it.
Yeah, you'd have to chip it.
Must be a northern thing, mate, 'cause they don't open down south.
Fish
Oh, it happens a lot up here.
There you go.
So one of the fish from here ended up swimming in a lake up in the Pennines somewhere. I'm not going to say the exact location, and it was reported to me. And we got hold of the club in question and told them that if they did it again, the lakes would have like half an inch of diesel oil sitting over the top of them the next time they went fishing there, and it's put an end to it. But you can't prove it unless they're chipped. But this is one of the reasons why the fishing club has started stocking mirrors rather than commons. We ask for mirrors, and the reason is you can track a mirror, can't you? Because you take a photo.
Yeah, the patterns.
And the patterns, yeah. So, but a common's far more difficult to turn around and say that's our common. You've stolen it.
Unless it's got a distinctive
unless it's got a distinctive
mark.
Scale pattern. Yeah.
Maybe
But there's definitely what we've always called it musical carp, as in we'll stock a fish in one lake, and then we'll see a photo of it in another, and then see a photo of it in somewhere else.
Yeah,
And this is the problem with like
it's like
open urban public waters. isn't
Mr.
it?
Angry. It's originally a stolen fish.
No, I've got a photo of Mr. Angry being stopped by by Albert
It's not.
Albert Morris. So that's an urban rumour.
Is it an urban rumour that
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. No.
I
I don't think
Albert
I don't
was
think
very
he's got much longer left in him though.
well. It was the 19. I don't know what year it stopped, but there's a photo. Albert used to have a photo. He was very proud of him actually holding one-eyed Mr. Angry, letting it go into the Park Lake, as we shall call it, on a MPL.
He's doing pretty well at the moment. Up there.
It is.
Yeah. There's put a few stockies in there now. They have.
Yeah, they're not like Salford's friendly style stock is like £2 to £3, are they?
Well, you got to buy what's best for your budget. The more small you buy,
I mean,
the more beneficial you get for your budget.
yeah. I mean, we stock our fish at £2 to £3, and then they just grow on. I mean, by the end of the first year, they were coming out at 5. End of the second year, they're coming out at 8. Then it's 11 and 12. Then we're up to 15, 16, 17. And then hopefully this coming year, those 2 to £3 will be coming out. They'll break the £20 barrier.
How big was that comment that you had? About 18. He's had the biggest out there so far, I would say.
So before those carp went into the old river, there were no carp in there.
Yeah.
All there were those koi carp. There's 2 kois, weren't there? The golden,
the white and the gold one. Was it?
the gold one and the sort of like black yellow one.
Yeah.
And that gold one was constantly around the £18 mark and didn't put much weight on. So. Oh, Andy Boyne sent us another message. Hang on, let's have a read of this message from Andy Boyne. He says, he was laughing at your comment, Jay. So basically, Andy's stuck at home with his wife and kids, and he's watching us, and he's as jealous as hell.
What size rods do you fish with?
10, so.
I tell you what, right? I'm golden as well. They're massive. I'm on 9s.
They look massive to me again.
They're humongous.
What, 9 foot?
I'm on 9 footers. He's on 12 footers.
Yeah, those they look like beach casters.
They do.
I know.
They're massive.
You're out on some French lake.
No, I had 12. Still got them.
I just fish.
Oh,
with
Alex Davis is on now. Hiya, Mike. Have you caught anything yet? No. But can you tell your mum, Alex, that I'll be in the office tomorrow morning and I need a nice cup of tea, because your mum makes the best cups of tea.
What is it you do for the River Trust then?
Say again.
What is it you actually do for the
What
River Trust?
What do I do?
Do for the River Trust?
I'm a project manager, so I devise projects
Okay.
that will improve the chemistry, biology and ecology of local rivers. That's my job.
So is that all river? Is it?
No, it's just the Mersey.
Oh, okay, Mersey.
Yeah, so there's 23 rivers that form the Mersey.
Okay.
Obviously, the Irwell, Irk, Bollin, Dane, Weaver, all those big rivers all join together and become the Mersey.
Jack, what part of the Mersey you been fishing?
Never actually.
Oh, what they walked and
Free
looked.
stretch.
Which one?
Free stretch. And then.
Most of it's a free stretch. You mean
You got the free stretch in Wolston, haven't you?
down that end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've walked around that, up the way, and then up, like all the way up Wolston.
Yeah, there's some good fish down there.
I've not seen much.
Oh, there are?
Crashing though, yeah, definitely.
So I think the bit above Woolston Way is free, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up to just near Greymist, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it goes Warren Anglers, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then there's Warrington Anglers, then there's Prince Albert, and there's a club called Cheshire Cheese.
Prince Albert's up near Enston, isn't it?
No. Is it there? No. And so that bit, then it becomes the Manchester Ship Canal for like 11 kilometres, which you're not allowed to fish, but people do.
I got kicked off.
You got kicked off the ship canal?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I was going down to the old part of the old Irwell,
Yeah.
down the scrapyard, and it was when you was coming down, that day when you come down with Dottie, and I was going to meet Jay. I was with a spinning rod, and I was on the old river spinning, and I just thought, do you know what, I'll have a nosy.
We'll have a dabble on the...
I'll walk across, have a nosy, and I stuck my head out, and I was like, do you know what, I can cast a rod out here. Literally just took my lure off, right, and I heard, oi! There's some guys cutting trees.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that.
You're not allowed to fish it. Yeah, so like, sorry mate.
I'm busy trying to get myself a key to get me access to the weir pool at Carrington Power Station. So we're going to put a fish pass on it. So obviously I'm abusing my power. So I said I need a key so that I can get access to do surveys and things like that. So I'm not telling you, because some of it's owned by Peel and some of it's owned by somebody else, and the other people are somebody else, so I'm not going to say on here. Yeah, I'm busy trying to con a key out of them at the moment, so I can fish, because I think that's going to be probably one of the best swims on the Ship Canal stroke Mersey entire system.
Was a pike out there? I've seen a picture of that.
I've seen some huge pike, and
Yeah.
I've seen huge carp, and I've heard of an angler being spooled on
Yeah, I
that swim in near the telephone mast on the
Tell you what,
bypass.
Remember you saying
I have
a few years
heard
ago,
of-
yeah.
Someone was telling me a story of a couple of carp anglers fishing Caddy's Head on the Ship Canal. About 5-6 runs, spooled.
Yeah.
Just literally
I think what's happened
spooled and spooled and spooled.
yeah.
Literally not even getting them in, but it literally
Yeah, I
just
think they're,
ripping and ripping.
I think the catfish that have come out of the Sale Water Park, so every time Sale Water Park floods, it's part of the flood basin.
Right next to it.
I think all those the cats which breed, because you can see tiny cats in there and
Yeah.
somewhere they're bred. So I reckon those little cats have actually made their way into the Mersey.
Definitely.
Obviously they get washed downstream over the waves, they can't come back and they get stuck in that lower sections of the Ship
Someone
Canal.
told me it was stocked in the 6s with carp and cats.
What, the Ship Canal?
Yeah.
No, they don't need to, because every single stream and river that flows, that overflows, has got, like even Drinkwater Park has got an overflow, or the old river. They go over the overflow in a period of heavy rain. They get washed into the Irwell or the River Mersey that washes into the Ship Canal, and they get stuck in there. So no one's ever I don't think no one would ever waste the money stuck in the Ship Canal.
No, it's
And in reality, every time someone stocks the River Irwell in Bury or stocks the River Goyt in New Mills,
it ends up in the Ship
yeah,
Canal.
it ends up in the Ship Canal. So it gets a free stocking every now and again,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Oh, another message from Mr. Boyne, hang on. You can't resist. There's obviously nothing on TV. Ah, here we go. Miss Angry was an original fish.
Right.
One of the other big ones. Oh, I'm not repeating that in public, Andy Boyne, on the. I'm not repeating that. I'm not repeating that on the internet.
I'll read it.
That no, it's libelous. That Andy. I'm not going to say it. He alleged it came. No, I'm not even going to say that, because I used to really like Albert Morris, and I'm not having anybody besmirch his good name. Now, some of the other lads, and you know who you are if you're watching. Some of the other lads on Manchester Park Lake, yeah, you've got a lot to answer for, and I'll name and shame you, Mr. Phillips. But I'm not going to say I've never heard a bad word to say about Albert Morris, despite what he did to Broughton Park Lake in 1980s.
That's one of our waters now, isn't it?
Yeah, not technically, but indirectly, yeah.
It's got carp in there as well, haven't we?
Yeah, and tench, yeah,
Tench.
and there's been some really good fish coming out of there. So that's all.
The carp was stocked
Yes.
at the same time as the old river,
Yeah.
around the same time as the old river. Right?
Yes, and they've grown better because there's less competition for food. But we stocked a few carp.
Not many.
There's not many. And the habitat's really bad in there. It's like a shallow, silty park lake. So in the summer you get like 6 inches of water and 3 feet of silt. And it's full of
And you
terrapins
get
as well.
married by the Jewish. I've heard some stories.
You do get, yeah, because when you catch a
right, no,
fish,
I've got around there, yeah.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen anything though, yeah.
when you catch a fish, they all come and want to buy it from you. You can't, there's no
Yeah.
comprehension that you're going to put it back.
What the full week, I didn't see anything, but yeah.
Yeah.
I thought there was nothing in there.
It's alright.
No, there's plenty of fish in there.
Yeah.
Perch, roach, pike, tench, and carp. So it's a very odd venue because there's only a couple of places where you can actually get in and fish it.
Yeah.
But back in the day,
Well, just go on though, fish it, yeah.
yeah, just roll up, yeah. And back in the day, they used to shut the gates at night, but now they leave them open so you can go and night fish it. But Alex has just said, how long have we been on? Well, hi Alex. Aaron Stott's been on here since 4 o'clock, and he's not run out, and I've only been here for half an hour, and I'm going to stay till about 9:30, and then because I turn into a pumpkin at 10 o'clock. And I have to have my Horlicks, and I get my wife to tuck me into bed because I'm getting old.
I had the one, and that one. Unless it's a. You can have it. Wonderful.
No, I think if you had crayfish on that middle
Bit
rod,
more.
they'd be beeping a little bit more because they just go attack it, and attack it, don't they? But I mean, I'm always wrong on everything. I turn around and say, well, I've never caught a crayfish out of it, and I've never seen one. But then in a minute, the internet will just like go like that, and
full of
everyone will say, yeah, it's full of them. There's loads.
Yeah.
But it mustn't be because it's next to the Irwell, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can guarantee that like a crayfish larvae will be able to sneak through the gaps in the gates, in the lock gates. But then also, there's so many good fish in here. You think if a rogue crayfish gets in here, it's dinner, isn't it? It's gone.
Yeah, that'd be.
They'll have it, yeah. So it might be worth trying.
I'm actually surprised in the catfish.
Might be worth trying a monster crab boilie one night. Yeah.
Or mussel.
Put them on there.
Yeah, mussel or halibut pellet boiler.
I've got a halibut. I've got
Halibut
penny.
pellet boiler. That's something you can't have, isn't it? Like
Penny.
saying a castor maggot.
Yeah, 20 minutes or 22. Might have to stick one on, mate.
Might be worth a try, mate. Might be worth a try. I think if anything, it's going to be early morning for like.
Be lucky.
So is Alex? I don't know if Alex Davis is still listening, but Alex, we're going to restock the old river in Earlham tomorrow morning with a load of crucians. So if you want to know what the best pike bait is on the old river in the next 6 months, get yourself a crucian because they're going to chow down. So that wasn't my decision.
I don't think they are. I don't think they are. There's enough silvers in there.
I agree. Well, and look at it another way. Like tench are really slow. You know, they're slow swimming fish, aren't they? In the same way that crucians are. And those tench, which were stocked when they're like 3 or 4 inches long, have absolutely thrived in there.
Yeah.
And if the pike were going to nail them, they'd have nailed the tench in the same way that everyone's saying they're going to nail these crucians.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, red and gold laws done there. Red and gold laws now for pike on the old river for the next few months.
You know what? He's not coming back to be honest. Like, we ordered, what did we order? 3 to 4s, and he's given us 4 to 6s.
Yeah, because he knows us, you see, we've used him loads of times
4 to
before.
6s.
I mean, all of the original, we've restocked the old river 3 times with carp, and the first 2 stockings came from Will.
It's not even that, like,
Right, it's probably Yorkshire, though, isn't it?
Hi Alex, they're fishing for carp,
that's one thing I like.
and they've got 6 rods out, so we've got 3 rods here, belong to Jay, and you can't see it's a bit dark, but there's 3 rods there that belong to Aaron. But it's lovely, isn't it? It's like Blackpool illuminations along here. There we go, put them back on that because we've only got 1 light. I wonder what the water temperature is here after all of this snow, after all of this ice, like -10 at night. Yeah, I reckon it's freezing because the aerators are on all the time, so it never lets it get like, you know, where it stratifies.
Yeah.
So you get,
Yeah.
See how I've got your finger in, see how comfortable it is.
yeah.
1 minute, I'll get my maggot out.
Careful, it's piping in.
Yeah, but they're not that desperate for a meal.
Nice one came out the other day.
Yeah, I saw
I
that
think you've
picture.
seen
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, nothing yet. Nothing as of yet. Caught a cold. Yeah, no, a nice one. I saw a nice one. But I saw a nice one in the spring.
It was just there. Yeah.
I saw a nice one in the spring when I was fishing St Francis Basin. I was setting my pod up. I put my second rod out and I was like, lifted up with mate and went, Aaron, have a look. And literally at the rod tip's end, it must have been about 6 foot long.
Yeah.
Massive it was.
Yeah, there are some good fish in there. I hooked one, not caught one, I hooked one a few years ago that scared me, it was so big. I'm not allowed to say the word. I nearly soiled myself.
So, yeah.
So I thought, I want to catch this fish, but then do I want to put my hand in its mouth to unhook it? Anyway, it stripped me across that basin next to Fatty Arbuckles, and I was only using like size 8 trebles, and I was like, what? I must have, you know, it's like you have the tension on a bit too tight or whatever, and it just like pinged back. And while I was upset, I was also relieved. It's like one of them.
You have to put your hand in its mouth.
Yeah. So my best for me is like low double. And most of them have actually come off this peg, to be fair. This is a really good peg for pike.
Yeah, there's some kid
on the drop off.
Around.
Yeah, on the drop offs.
It undercuts as well. I don't know if you know.
I do, yeah.
It undercuts.
Yeah.
How far is it undercut?
About 6 feet.
Right, Dan, it undercuts about 6 feet. undercuts by about 6 foot.
Is it?
Yeah. Good to know that.
Yeah, the undercuts are there so that when the ships had engines, they had something to have propeller wash against.
Right.
It was for the motion of the ships, apparently. But
Just try exactly this way.
it's a bit odd because like, this place was built in, what was it, 1890s, 1880s and 80s. The ship canal opened in 1890, didn't it? So I don't know if did they have ships with
It
engines
was
then?
man
Or was
dug
it?
as well, wasn't it?
So, yeah,
It was man dug, wasn't it? It's just now.
but Irish dug.
Irish dug, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you didn't believe that, did you? The ship canal.
Dug by hand.
Dug by hand.
Yes, it's meant to be. Crazy.
The Irish, 1860 was it?
No, it's 1880s and 18. It was finished in 8. It took them 10 years.
Yeah.
1891 it was opened by Queen Victoria, and that's what that picture is in the old river, in the boathouse pub at the old river, of all those old fellas in top hats and bowler hats going fishing. So they had a match on there to celebrate Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee, and Queen Victoria came to open the ship canal.
And it was
That's the history.
hanged up by the Irish.
Yeah, all the navvies, all my relatives. Digging ditches. What's the one?
Remember where they sent all the soil?
You know, it's a lot. Yeah, that's a good point now. Where did the soil go? There's a lot of it.
What do you want to drink?
You could send to the alchemist. This,
Hard, to be fair, what plastic before.
Was you tempted?
this is one of the nice things about fishing Salford Quays. It's full service, isn't it?
You get
'Cause
Nando's delivered and
you get
everything.
Nando's, there's Pizza Hut, there's fried chicken, there's the alchemist. You get a cocktail delivered. You get backlit all night.
Mm.
The only thing we've not got is a toilet.
Lad. What, you go to the car park?
Here's Alex saying, have I been to any FC United games recently? I went on Boxing Day, Alex, and they won 4-1, and it was a really good game. For New Year, I went away to Wales with the family, and it was really poorly, and they lost at Radcliffe, but I'm not sure, I think it was 1-0. And then we went yesterday, and they played Whitby, and it was 2-2. And if you want to come again, I've always got free tickets, so just let your mum know, and I'll give you some tickets again. But I think on next Saturday, Alex, they're playing Hyde United, and Hyde's a really good team, so it'll be a really good match, that one. But they're still like 1 point off the playoffs in the Northern Premier League. So yeah, it's pretty good. And I think there was 1,800 fans there yesterday.
I'm making you drink Salford Quays.
But even that middle rod now is stopped bleeping.
It keeps doing it every so often.
Yeah, but it's not bleeped for at least 15-20 minutes now.
I think we got a fucking little snotty on that. Yeah.
Oh, look at this fresh food going on here. We've got
Get the kettle on.
hot noodle, buns, kettles going on. Lads in the biffy, having a spiffy. Yeah, I found a 4-week-old beef sandwich in my glove box in the car the other day.
You didn't hear, did you?
No, I didn't, because it didn't. It was so cold though, it hadn't even gone mouldy. But my little boy had a football match, and he keeps his sports glasses in the, because he wears glasses. He wears sports glasses for football. Because he'd been poorly for a while, and I've been, we've had the lurgy.
Yeah.
We hadn't been out to football training or training for him to play the matches. So when he put his hand in to get his glasses out, he goes, "Oh, Dad, what's this?" Oh dear. Chuck it in the bin. Come on, one of these rods is going to rip off.
I hope so.
I do too.
We have a screamer.
There we go. It's 10 to 8 now.
Seen Moss Farms rebranding?
Yeah, seen that. Cafe's open up again soon, isn't it?
Someone new. Someone. Is it changed hands yet?
Tim Allen is a,
Still Allen?
Still Allen is he's starting a carting brand and renaming it
Well, good for him.
after the brand.
That's good. That makes sense.
Yeah.
They've got some wonderful perch in their specimen there.
Well, netting it. It's getting electrofish. It's getting electrofish. So, well, last time I was on there, I was speaking to Alan, and he said he's got a bit of a connection with, I think, limb anglers,
Oh yeah.
and they normally net it every so often for him, and they take the silvers,
Yeah, and put them in there like that.
put them in
makes
their
sense.
lakes.
Yeah.
But
We-
they're going to electrofish it.
Right, good. I met Alan a couple of times on the banks of the old river. That's fun. Knows what he's talking about.
Yes, he's all right.
Well, he's transformed that place, hasn't he? That's
Yeah.
to be fair.
Definitely, it's not bad water.
But,
Your nearest McDonald's to we are is Regent Road.
is it? Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that's still on the ground. McDonald's around there.
Yeah.
There's a Burger King in the food hall in the Lowry, but I think it's be closed on a Sunday night. When the shop's shut, the food hall shuts. What alarms you all on, Donkins?
No, he's on Nash. I'm on New Direction.
Better than my what do you call it? NGTs.
NGTs. Not good tackle.
That's the one. Yeah, you must know that my two middle names are Ron Thompson.
I've seen your look lengths.
He's a personal family friend. Oh, hang on, Alex sent a message. Alex, send that message again. He said he went to Salford versus somebody. I missed the message. Send it me again. Look at that, we've got 3 people watching at the moment, and I've got 1 thumbs up, which is one more thumbs up than I've got from my mouth. But even looking at no activity at Salford Quays on a Sunday night in January, when I don't actually expect any activity on a Sunday night at Salford Quays. It's got to be better than watching the rubbish on TV these days. I tell you. Some of the stuff my wife watches is incredible. Your missus will be the same. She gets into all these Netflix series that are absolutely rubbish.
Well, she goes to bed with channel 67 on, and she watches crime documentaries every night.
Oh, look at this. I went to Salford versus Barrow last week and it was 1-1 and Barrow scored in the last minute. Well, all I can say to that is because I don't like Salford. They're a plastic football club that are, in my view, nearly as bad as MK Dons. And that's the team that I hate most in the world because they just bought Wimbledon as a franchise and like stole the club.
Have we come back up yet, or are they still?
No, they're still rowing about who owns the kitchen sink and the name and the trophies and.
Make sure it don't get damp around.
No.
Yeah, it's sad what's happened to Bury.
Keep it in the bag. They're sweet enough then, anyway. I have gone proper mad on my caramel latte at the moment.
Caramel latte?
Caramel,
You're like metrosexual now, aren't you?
yeah, no, they're nice.
Where happened to a cup of tea?
Well, that's what I
From
normally
the
drink.
burger van?
And do you know what? I didn't like coffee, right, until the missus got pregnant.
Ah,
I switched. I started drinking
male
coffee.
cravings. Well, I gave up caffeine last year. About for some crazy reason, I don't know, because I decided I was drinking too much tea and coffee. And I do when I'm at work. It's like I've intravenous caffeine all day long, and I just, like being an idiot that I am, I just decided to like put a line under it and stop. And then for 3 days, the worst headache I've ever had off my
Yeah,
life.
you do.
And I couldn't actually get off the sofa, so I didn't do any work for 2 days. So I couldn't actually physically move, just so ill from like giving up
Yeah,
caffeine.
that's what happens.
And then I lasted about 6 months with no coffee, and then I just got sucked back into it. because I miss coffee, and then the other day I got sucked back into drinking cups of tea again because I missed cups of tea. So I'm now back on full whack on the caffeine, but I've given up. I've always got to have something that I'm doing or not doing. So I've given up booze now for doing a dry January.
Well, I was dry January and I quit like
Which is painful. We had kind of stellar. But
Is it still going?
It's just because the gas boil's cold, but it is. It's
Is it cold? Yeah.
warm me cockles.
normally at Christmas I'll buy like Hennessy or whatever it is, VSO brandy. What's the other one? Oh yeah, Remy Man.
I mean, I love a bit of
Love a bit of Remy, and it's nice. And then this year, I was feeling as though my wife, the Christmas present was rough. No thanks. A rough year on the front. But I traded down. I went on Tesco's own brand pea brandy, and I'll tell you what, it was a bit rough on the throat. It was a bit rough on the neck.
Do you need a plaster?
No, I've got one.
Oh, I was
Why?
going to say.
Dan's a plasterer.
Dan's a plasterer.
Well, I've got a plastering question. So on the roof, I'm just tiling my roof at the moment, in between the rain. When I put in my 15 centimetre sheet of Kingspan, I've still got. I've used 8x2 timbers for the roofing. I've still got like 5 centimetre gap, but I want to use insulated plasterboard. How do I? What's the correct way of attaching the insulated plasterboard to the bottom?
Where's the gap between the insulation and? Are you saying you've got a gap between your joists or your timbers?
Yeah, I've got a gap between the joist and the Kingspan.
Insulation?
Yeah,
So I think really you should have ventilation between the roof and the Kingspan.
I do.
So it sounds. What is it? 150 you put in?
No, I put in 150 of Kingspan,
Yeah. So it's quite thick then.
so it's quite thick, and now I've got a 5 centimetre gap. But there is a gap of there is a circulation gap
So you still got a gap between the tiles.
between the tiles and the roof. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
To be honest with you, normally you just keep them flush to the timber.
What the original Kingspan I should keep flush to the timber.
Kingspan really should just be flush with the timber.
But then how do you get the electrics in if it's flush?
You just have to. It depends. If you've got to run it through, if you've got cables running through, then obviously you can't have it flush. But the majority of the time, it should be just flush.
Right.
Then when you've got your plasterboard, your insulated plasterboard up against the timber, then that's basically all you need is ventilation between the roof and
And the top of the Kingspan. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so it'll get moist, won't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm learning. I'm getting there.
What are you saying about filling that gap in? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
Well, I can just bring the Kingspan down because it's held in with little noggins.
Can you get it down to without?
Yeah, because I've not sealed it up yet.
Yeah, if you've not got cables running through, you can get them flush.
But I'm gonna have cables too. I'm gonna get the first fix of electric. Once I finish the first part of the insulation, I'm gonna get the first fix of the electrics in.
Right.
So my missus, it'll be like Blackpool and New Malaysia. She's gonna have so many ceiling lights in there.
Yeah, so you might have to push the insulation up a bit so you can get cables in.
Yeah.
See regulations as well. You've got to have your cable, your holes for your cables and your joists. They've got to be a certain distance from the edge of your joist because, say, on a later day you come in to put a screw in or something, and if they're too close to the edge of the joist, then they're not under regulation.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking with having the 5 centimetre gap between the Kingspan.
You can have the gap, and if you have an insulated plasterboard, obviously it will have the polystyrene on the back.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one that I want to buy.
If you're going to go for that, then having that little gap there, like, to be honest with you, I don't think it's going to make any difference.
Yeah. Well, the building inspector quite likes me. Feels sorry for me because I got ripped off by my previous builder.
They probably won't pull you up on that sort of thing. As long as you've got ventilation between the roof and the membrane on the roof and the insulation, that's the main problem. Yeah, so I mean, if you've got a little gap in between.
No, I've got loads of ventilation. I know to put in a ventilated soffit as well, a full length, a ventilated soffit.
I wouldn't worry too much, right?
This is where YouTube's your friend. YouTube's not going to put plasterers out of business. It might put some builders out of business because it's so easy to learn how to do it on YouTube.
Casting is one of the ones that it's a fine art, right?
Well, yeah, it is if you're doing big areas. I mean, I can patch plaster all right.
Yeah.
But when you're doing a big area, you have to get a
Get
professional
it,
in,
got to
don't
get
you?
fine.
Yeah, because otherwise it look. If I tried to do a ceiling, it would look like a ploughed field, and there'd be so much swearing. It'd be unbelievable. My wife would move out for a week while I was doing it.
Feet are getting cold.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a
Proper southerner, mate.
I've got what you call it, a dormer conversion and then a lean-to extension at the back, and the dormer conversion and everything. All of that's finished. I managed to finish that last summer, but now I'm getting nagged to get on with the finishing off the lean-to conversion at the back, which is really big.
Tell you what,
But the problem is, it's just not stopped raining.
I was having a conversation with Dan the other day, and it was Saturdays, and I saw something. So a lot of people are doing away with it. Essentially, now, you know, you can get heated skirting boards.
Oh, can you?
So instead of radiators, you can get heated skirting boards. Basically, so you can free up that wall
Yeah.
and do your skirting board all the way
Oh,
around.
I'll have a look at that because I've
Okay.
not put any in yet.
Yeah, you can do heated. And you
So
can
is it electric?
You can do it electric, or you can do it
With pipes
with
running
pipes.
through your skirting board.
Yes.
See, I looked at having underfloor heating, and I looked at having it done on my central heating boiler, and then I looked at having it electric, and then I seen how much energy costs now, and I thought I'm not paying for that.
Yeah, no, you
It's
can.
my gas bill has gone from like 40 quid a month. I'm paying 160 at the moment.
My
Mad.
last one that's just coming with gas and electric dual. That's with £66 off, which is on reduced hours at the moment. Is 300.
300 quid, I know, and it used to be like 100 quid combined, didn't it?
Two-bedroom house.
Yeah, same with me. Well, it's now 3 with an extension.
Yeah.
I used to pay 100 quid for gas and electric, maximum, often less than that. And now I'm paying 300 quid. It's crazy, isn't it?
Daylight robbery.
I know.
Daylight robbery.
And I get my own solar panels. It's a little cheaper.
But it only does reserve, though, doesn't it? Save a lot. You're more beneficial in the summer for it.
What,
than
with
you are
solar
in the winter.
panels?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get a wind turbine then. I'll get one. Do you know you get on a yacht?
Yeah.
Them little ones. And a load of car batteries. I'll run the TV off car batteries.
Mike, you need to put £1 in a meter.
And do you know what I'll do? Is I'll get one made of ice. Like when I was a student, we used to make 50p's from ice to put in the meter. And the landlord would come round to collect all the 50p's, and it was just like a box of water. So you must have had a leak. Whoop, middle rod's gone. Look at that. Everyone's sitting on the edge of the bivvies now.
Do you know what? It's that same alarm.
I did say if it goes off again, I'm going to bring it in, but I'm going to go for it.
You're going to go and get 4 cans from Tesco.
There's a. So you should do when you go to Tesco, go and get some empty cardboard boxes, and then you can put them on the floor and put your feet on them. That's not a bad idea. Keep you a bit warmer.
Frozen cat.
Yeah.
I do sometimes.
See, for those of you who are watching and you don't know Salford Quays that well, it's right in the centre of town. You can't get any more urban fishing
And this. No,
than
you
fishing
can't.
here.
It's the biggest.
Nothing like it.
It's the biggest. Is it the biggest urban water in the UK?
No, probably some of the London docks are bigger.
Say, what would you say, Dan?
No, I'll probably say
Is the wharf bigger than this? Cardiff Wharf.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if it depends on
Well,
what
if you
you
added it
include.
all together.
Yeah, if you just include the internal basins here, then Cardiff's bigger and London Docklands is bigger.
Ah, right, okay.
Canary
for the-
Wharf
for the
Docklands. But when you add
span of
on
the area.
when you add on the entire area
Yeah.
from sort of like Modewheel locks
Yeah.
all the way up to the city centre and Pomona and everywhere else, it's a really big area, isn't it? So
Yeah.
All stretches of it.
I want to fish that, you know.
Different.
where?
The Thames.
As well.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I have seen there's a couple of guys on Facebook that do tours, you know. So you can pay X amount of money
Boating.
on the Thames, and he'll boat you down the Thames and put you on the spots. He's fished it for X
Yeah.
amount of years. Put you on the spots, and you go catch carp and barbel and
I fancy going to Holland and catching like £7 perch. Yeah.
Brian's just been.
I even know I've even got a pal who lives in Antwerp in Belgium who fishes, and he's actually shown me an X marks the spot on Google Maps in the location where he goes in Holland. And he goes worm feeder fishing, and he's had roach to £4 and perch to £6 off the bank. And he says he's got the contact details. One of the locals who takes everybody out on his boat. And it's cost a couple €100, but they regularly catch perch over £5 on that boat at the right time of the year. Oh, wouldn't you want fat?
Brian went out. Brian goes to Sweden every year.
Yeah, he loves it, Brian, in
he's
Sweden.
on- And he took Reece McDonald.
Did
this
it?
time. Yeah, he took Reece McDonald.
He never took me.
He asked
Brian, if you're watching, why haven't you taken me to Sweden?
No, he asked me if I was going up, so we had the baby was due at the time.
Yeah.
He took Reece McDonald. Yeah, but he goes out there catching big bites. First thing I said to him, I said, "Hey, carp."
Oh, you would, wouldn't you? Yeah. I don't know about the carp fishing in Sweden. It's a bit. Is it too northerly for them? A bit cold.
He's out there because if you do watch Urban Banks and Euro Banks with Alan Blair, he does it Sweden and the Netherlands.
Hey, Alan Blair, he fished here, didn't he, on video? This exact spot.
Big catch.
And he didn't join the club either, so good luck to him. Didn't join the fishing club and didn't catch anything. Serves him right.
Yeah, make sure if you catch that 30 on one,
Yeah, don't pull it out of the water.
just suck it.
Leave it.
I'll be back. Right?
Yeah, if you catch anything, we'll leave it in the water for you to.
Dan likes catching rudd on the top.
Does it? Bream.
Rudd.
It's a bream fan.
Well, fish Moss Farm in the summer and he must have had about 30 carp in front of him. He had about 30 carp in front of him and he had 2 rudd on the bounce on bread.
So a few years ago, I got reported to me that someone caught a £4 2-ounce rudd from here on a 14mm strawberry boiler from the Quays. £4 2-ounce. And it was the middle of the night. There's a carp angler, and he sent me a text message saying that he caught it. I said photos, and he said no, I just chucked it back. And I nearly cried. He said it was the middle of the night. I chucked. No, the record's about £5 off,
it?
but it's certainly the record. No one's ever had a £4 rudd in the northwest of England ever.
I've had a good 3.5 pounder off Gregson's.
Really? Oh, that's interesting to know.
Yeah.
There's no pike in Gregson's,
I
so.
want a cube of meat like that. The battery's going on, I think. Sandy. Do you know what? I'll change it.
It's all gone dark. Makes me worry a little bit, you know, that Andy Boyne, when we were talking about the lighting, he said, oh, you need to buy this stick and it's got a lighting thing on it. Now, it does make me wonder, because Andy doesn't make fishing videos. What are you actually live streaming with this light, Andy? If you'd like to tell us, we're all ears, because otherwise all we can do is speculate, pal. Look at that.
The bike light. Put on my bait boat so I can see where it's going.
Yeah, handy, aren't they? A little clip on. So if I was at home now, instead of being out here on the Quays with these rods, my wife's watching this this series set on Netflix of some young autistic doctor who makes these wonderful diets. She's already gone through.
Is it called The Good Doctor?
That's the one. What's it called? The Good Doctor.
It's not a bad TV programme.
Oh, drives me nuts. Yeah, but I'm coming off the back of watching the full back-to-back Grey's Anatomy, the full 16 however many series of 20 episodes in each series.
Do you know what? I kind of fell off that Good Doctor.
Oh.
I watched like the first 2.
Well,
three
I've
seasons.
fallen off Netflix.
And do you know all it reminded me of was watching House.
Orange is the New Black. Do you remember that? It's the modern version of Prisoner Cell Block H, but not as good. I've watched everything on Netflix. Well, I've been forced into watching.
Well, I work from home. I've completed Netflix. Is it an achievement?
Yeah, well, your employer gets really good value for money out of you, Aaron. Oh dear. Happy days. Hey, let's have a quick look round and see what we can have a look at on the Quays. Doesn't really focus this camera. It's a bit rubbish. What I'm gonna do is
What phone have you got?
Oh, it's rubbish. It's Samsung A21s. Cheap
Tell you
one.
what, you do an upgrade anytime soon?
Yeah, now.
Get the Google one.
I should do, shouldn't I? That's where. Do you remember I bumped into.
I've got the Pixel 7 Pro, and I swear by it. Absolutely swear by it.
There's the Bupa offices.
That's where I'm getting my.
The
my-
Duet
my
building.
slip with. The Bupa.
And obviously Nando's is up that top end, and the Alchemist bar, and beyond that is BBC and ITV offices. Does make me laugh, in the morning when I turn on what's breakfast TV. I always look. I've never seen one yet, but they always show this water.
Yeah.
So where we're fishing now is the backdrop
You wait to
for.
see an angler.
Yeah, I went to see somebody I know fishing. So this particular piece of water is the backdrop to breakfast TV, because it's filmed in Salford here in Manchester at the Quays. So when they used to have, what was that programme years ago that they used to film? Good Morning Britain or something like that. They used to film it at Albert Dock in Liverpool.
Yes.
They had Fred the Dodgy Weatherman.
Yes.
And you could see the general public walking behind as they were filming. And they used to be the same at Pebble Mill. Pebble Mill at 1 or whatever it was. But Salford Quays, I think they're a bit crafty and they don't like the general
He
public.
turned out to be a bit of a.
He was a very naughty boy.
Yeah.
He was. He
I remember
was.
driving around that little car.
Yeah. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. He got found out in the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which is, well, it's a good thing, because
Well,
stop
but
him
everyone
doing
started
it.
getting found out the minute Jimmy Savile died.
Yeah.
Just so I blame Jimmy.
Well, you can blame Jimmy for a lot of things. I got away with a lot, because I actually wrote, as a kid, I must have been very, very ugly. Because not only was I an altar boy for about 4 years and never got molested, I was in the Cubs and then the Scouts, and I never got molested. And then I wrote to Jimmy Savile to say,
Right back.
no, I wrote to him saying, I was only about 10 at the time, or 9 or 10, can I go fishing with Ian Heaps, who was the world champion at the time? Can I have a day's fishing with Ian Heaps? So it would have been 11, because I think Ian Heaps was the world champion in 1977 or something like that. And we've got somebody, he's an American, he says he loves how we talk. Well, Mr. Fox something, because your name dropped off my screen really quickly there. We've got really common voices, so we don't talk like normal English people. We're from the north, so we don't go for tea with the Queen or anybody like that. We've got quite unique accents up here. But
We're like the hillbillies of England.
yeah, that's the best one. Yeah, he's right. Aaron's right there. He says we're like the hillbillies, the boondocks. This is of,
Tell you what,
of England.
though, the fishing out in America for carp fishing
It's really
is
good.
Really,
I know
good
it is. Yeah.
at the moment. And even though they used to still very, very widely done spear fishing and killed and on the go, it's becoming really, really big.
Foxgloved says, to hell with the Queen, haha. Well, do you know what, pal? You're quite right, I agree. And do you know why? Because I'm Irish. Yeah, and the Irish were treated terribly by the English. The first slaves in the Caribbean were all Irish. Tens of thousands of them got shipped to the Caribbean by Oliver Cromwell to run the first, to be the slaves on the first plantations. And that's why people from Jamaica and other countries like that in the West Indies, they all speak with sort of like a very unique accent, and that's because, in the same way the Scousers down the other end of the ship canal here, in Liverpool, are all Irish, and that's why the accents have developed, because the Irish got treated so badly. And obviously in your country, in America, every other person you speak to is Irish descent, and most of them moved over in the 1840s. Yeah, come out you black and tans, that's the one. To hell with the Queen, come out you black and tans. That's Winston Churchill for you, with black and tans. I know my history. But the English starved the Irish at a time of record crops. Like Ireland used to have something like a population of 6 million, and within 10 years it had a population of 3 million.
Ireland's biggest provider of peat, isn't it?
Certainly is. It's a lovely place. It's a really, really nice place to visit, and they've done spectacularly well out of it being a member of the European Union. So when I was a kid, my uncle's farms, they had like one light bulb and they used to share a telephone line. And I'm not telling you like that. So up the valley in Tipperary, my family got a load of farms. If the phone rang once, it was for Mr. Patrick Ryan. If the phone rang, if it had 2 rings, it was for Brian Ryan. If it was 3 rings, it was for John Ryan. 4 rings, it was for Mickey Michael Ryan, who's my uncle. And you could pick up the phone and listen to everybody else's telephone conversation. As was the woman in the exchange down the road in Capper White, who was plugging everybody in. So the phone would ring up to 10 times, and they used to count the number of rings, and however many rings it was. That was your telephone. But everybody else in the entire valley could pick up the phone to listen to what was being said.
The times have changed.
Love it, eh? And they used to milk the cows with 1 light by hand at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they were dirt poor, absolutely poverty-stricken, dirt floor houses. And now they're all rolling in. All my uncles, all got apartments in the Costa del Sol. All got wads of money when they go to the races, all because of the Common Agricultural Policy, European Union. They've made absolute fortunes out of it. And if there's anybody who deserves to make money out of Europe, it's the clever Irish, because they're lovely people.
Yeah, my Mrs. Jen, her family, they're all Irish.
They're all Irish, your
Yeah,
wives?
her mum's proper Irish. She came over, literally, came over from Ireland within 24 hours of being in Ireland.
Yeah,
Got a mortgage,
yeah, good for her.
got 2 jobs. For her and her
So-
husband. He worked on the docks.
So my grandparents were Irish, my parents are English, so I'm definitely a plastic. I claim I'm a plastic paddy.
Yeah.
I claim distant Irish heritage.
When I think Irish, I think of Jen's mum, and all she ever says is feck.
Feck this, feck that.
Feck
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
feck
yeah. It's
that,
like
yeah. Well, if you say fuck, she'll tell you what.
you're not allowed to say that
You're
word
not
on
allowed to.
YouTube. No,
Sorry.
it's all right.
Yeah, she says feck. Feck, 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 feck.
It's like Father Ted. I love that.
Yeah.
Father Ted. But,
When you
oh, Andy Boyne sent another message. Hang on, let's have a quick look. So Andy Boyne, for those of you who are listening who don't know him, he's our pal of a long time, and he's a lovely fellow, very good fisherman. Oh, Jay knows about the Catchmate tripod, he said.
oh,
So he obviously was listening when we were giving him a hard time about what he gets up to with the tripod with the light. But you still haven't explained yourself. You just tried to pass the attention and the blame onto somebody else there, Andy. You haven't come up with the goods yet as to why you've got a tripod with a light when you don't make fishing videos.
you're quite pally with Dave, aren't you, from Tackling Mines?
Yeah, I
Has
am.
he got is he on at Northern Angle Show this year?
Probably, yeah.
Why don't you see him get on with him? And broadcast something from the Emeralds a bit.
I should do.
Because it's moved venue now.
Didn't Tyler something to do with Northern Angling Show?
His cousin runs it.
Right.
Cousin runs it. Tyler and Reese, they work it.
You know what I'm like though? They give me a free stall so that I can promote the local angling clubs, and then I just bring all my own kit on and sell it off. They throw me out after an hour. What do you think you're doing? You've only come here for publicity purposes. What are these pallets of goods that you've brought with you now? Oh, Andy sent me a message saying, do I fancy a trip to the Mersey estuary next weekend? And the answer to that, Andy, is yes, I do. Because for those of you who don't know, I run the Mersey estuary species hunt. And last year, there were 37 different species caught. The winner got, I think it was 29. And even though I ran the competition, I only caught 5 species. That's a bit rubbish. But last year I did the least amount of fishing. Ah, yeah, Foxglove says, just say it like feck, like the Irish do, and YouTube won't pick up on the swear word, which is probably right. But they might not pick up on it with my accent anyway, being the bumpkin from the boondocks of the north of England.
I didn't ask you, do you take sugar?
Yeah, I know you put sugar in it, and
There's no sugar in it.
it's horrible.
Is it?
You say there is sugar in it?
No, there's no sugar in it. It's cappuccino. It's
Cappuccino?
One of them
Oh, right.
sachet ones.
Ah, right. It's quite sweet though. I like it bitter and acrid,
Yeah.
like strong and yeah.
Sends shivers down your back.
That's the one. The only shivers I get these days. Yeah, it'd be really nice to come here with a better camera, and because you can't really see it. I'm gonna have a try, but we're surrounded by you can only see white light on this camera. It's a bit rubbish. Let me see if I can zoom in a tiny bit, which I can't.
I'll tell you what though, you don't need a baby light. It's well lit up.
all of those lights up there, I can see red lights, blue lights, someone's got flashing LEDs going on. I'm going to get myself a better camera, and I might start live streaming through my laptop and see if that makes a difference to the picture quality. Because this place is amazing, but all we're picking up is rubbishy lights. So I need to upskill myself a little bit and upgrade my kit to show you how wonderful this place actually is. And I love it, because obviously my fishing club, we've got the fishing rights to here, and we catch some tremendous fish. You don't catch lots of fish,
We fished that quarter special.
but when you do catch a fish, it's brilliant. Oh, Andy Boyney has sent me another message. Hang on. Oh, it's the same message. High tides at 3:30 next Sunday afternoon. Do I fancy it? Well, absolutely. Yes, is the answer to that. Andy, I fancy going on the Wirral side, so somewhere around Birkenhead Town Hall, rather than going at Otterspool, if you don't mind. And I've got a reason for that, which I'll share with you when I see you. Because basically, I don't like hauling the fish up the wall at Otterspool, and I prefer that little bit of beach in front of me.
Conger eels coming out the Mersey.
Yeah, there are conger eels coming out of the Mersey. No, never huge, they're always like low
I
doubles.
caught a 36 in the Isle of Wight. Can't be.
I hooped over.
No, we literally, it was like this. Went and watched the TT, me and my dad, many years ago. We went for 2 weeks, and my dad said, right, we'll watch the TT, and we'll go fishing for a week. I've never done sea fishing in my life. So we eat this, I won't say a basin, but you know, it's all built up around where they're coming in with the boats. Fishing over this edge, catching mackerel, had a couple of mullet, and I said, Dad, I'm just going to dangle this down the edge, see what I get. We looked into this 36-pound conger eel, it was massive.
Yeah?
Landed it in the 42-inch landing there. And then the Italian over the road wanted it, so I give it.
Can you eat conger eel?
Yeah, they ate it.
All right.
They ate it. They ate it and they fed us for 2 days.
Wow. I'm not the biggest fan of water snakes.
No, I don't
Like
eat
freshwater eels and any eels, they're giving me the heebie-jeebies.
fish, unless you're from down south and you eat jelly. I don't eat fish.
Oh, I like fish.
No, I just.
But the problem is there's all this horrible farmed salmon.
Yeah.
And that puts you off. And then you think to yourself, well, actually the bass that I eat, when you go to the supermarket, you buy sea bass, you think, well, is that in the same condition?
Yeah.
And
Oh.
and it's no one picks up on it because they haven't got like a big, powerful, rich salmon lobby.
Yeah.
So there's no sea bass lobby that monitors sea bass farming, where there is a salmon lobby. Which obviously is quite right. Anyway, listen, any of you who are watching out there and you're enjoying this, do me a favour, and press the like button and subscribe, and then you'll know the next time I go live. I'm going to go live probably twice a week for the next couple of months. So I think I've got 400 this morning. Last count, I have 443 subscribers actually tuning in and saying they like my rubbish. So I'll try to get to 1,000, and then when I get to 1,000, I can change the way that I live stream, so I can actually live stream better, because there's all sorts of restrictions on people that don't have 1,000 subscribers. So I'm trying initially the next couple of months to get to 1,000 subscribers. So press the like button if you haven't done it already, and subscribe to my channel, the Fishing Fiend channel.
How did you get on drop shotting the other day? I saw you had 2.
Yeah, when I was drop shotting in the town, the water was freezing, and I had 2 fish, and that was it. I was expecting a lot more. If I go in the summer in that location,
Yeah.
I catch a fish every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The fish just launch themselves at those worms, and the 2 fish that I did catch weren't where I was expecting to catch any. And all the places I was thinking, oh, this is a bang on location, a guaranteed banker spot to get a fish. They're all devoid of fish. But there was a cormorant was flying off as we were moving on, so obviously that's going to have an impact.
Well, I'm
But-
originally from Odsal. I used to fish Fossil's Nest. How's that fish these days?
Where's that?
Fossil's Nest.
Throttle's Nest is
Throttle's
great in the
Nest.
summer.
Is it in summer?
Yeah, when the lily pads come up, yeah. So the Throttle's Nest is only about a mile from here, and it's a tram stop. It's the Throttle's Nest, was it a pub or a factory
I think
originally?
factory.
It's a factory, and I don't know what they made, but there's a bridge over the Bridgewater Canal called Throttle's Nest Bridge, and now there's obviously a tram. They've rebuilt the tram network. There's a tram stop there, but directly underneath the tram stop on the Bridgewater Canal, there's a little wider section, and that wider section in the summer's full of lilies, and it's a brilliant place to go fishing. Because obviously, you don't need to park your car; you just jump on the metro link, take your kit, and get off, and directly underneath the tram stop is a brilliant place to go fishing. Now, I don't know how I'll do on here with live fishing on YouTube, because maybe the high power electric voltage cables from the tram lines might interfere with the quality of the signal or the quality of the picture.
There's another place that I pulled over the other day to pop into the shop, and do you know when you come down Liverpool Street and you come over where Arnold Clark is, and you'll go down as you're going towards town, and they've just built all the new high rises on your left hand side.
There's some new canal bits there.
New canal bits in there.
That's right.
Is there any fishing in them?
Loads. There's loads of fish. Yeah, mostly perch.
Right.
And they, believe it or not, that's part of the Little Britain Anglers ticket.
Is it? Right.
Because it's classed as being the Bury Bolton Canal, and they've got the fishing rights on the Bury Bolton Canal. So yeah, there's some good perch.
I pulled off to go to the shop the other day.
No carp or anything. I mean, really, Eric, if you're listening, because obviously I know Eric because he runs the fishing club. But Eric, if you're listening, we all think that you need to put some carp, tench, and other fish into those canal basins that you've got at Ordsall.
Like Medlow Lock or something like that.
Yeah, no, I don't know what they're called.
It's literally where Dulux used to be.
Oh, hang on, my channel got recommended to Foxgloved. So he says on his homepage, so he said I must be in the Facebook algorithm.
Oh.
Well, that's something to. He said, I don't even follow any other fishing channels. He said, I'm not sure why. Now, you see, I love fishing channels because my wife watches rubbish on TV that I don't really like that much. So what I tend to do is I put my laptop on my knee and sit next to her, and I scan and troll and work my way through all sorts of people's different fishing stuff because I love it.
Have you come across him, the Ginger Fisherman?
I do, yeah. There's some great ones. Ginger Fisherman, Carl and Alex I like Totally Awesome Fishing. What's the Fish Locker? John, who goes out on his little boat and catches massive tuna and sharks off Cornwall. I tell you what, YouTube and online fishing is miles better than anything on TV.
Yeah.
It keeps me entertained all night long. Because I like all sorts of different fishing. I can watch people tying flies. I can watch people going fly fishing. I can watch people sea fishing. People going fishing in California. Going big. It's endless, isn't it?
It is endless.
And because I love fishing, and I think about fishing more than anything else apart from the three-letter word that I'm probably not allowed to mention on YouTube. Ends in X. Then it makes me and my wife a happy couple because she can watch her rubbish, which she does watch absolute garbage on TV, but I can sit next to her, watch my stuff, and when it gets exciting, I can just nudge her and say, "Go make me a cup of tea."
That's what I watch on my night feeds. Well, with a little man, when I'm doing night feeds, just watch loads of fishing.
Yeah.
Fishing. He's mesmerised by it.
I tell you what, those lads, I think they must have gone to the pub because they're taking a long time.
Tesco, it's a mooch, that Tesco.
It's not, yeah, but hang on, there's Sainsbury's there, you know.
I didn't know Sainsbury's was there.
If you go over the Red Bridge, are they coming back now? I'm going to tell them, I'll wind them up when they get back. If you go over that Red Bridge there, about 20 yards behind this building, is Sainsbury's open all hours.
I didn't know that. I know Boobs is...
Yeah, no,
Boobs?
yeah.
Is it over there?
Booths is over there,
Over
yeah.
there, yeah.
But Booths is shut down as a co-op now.
Well, funny enough, I work in social housing. And
So hang on 1 minute. So just for the benefit of the viewers, the other lads who were in the bivvy behind us, who were fishing with Aaron, Jay and his friends, they wanted to get a couple of cans of beer. So Aaron sent Jay about a kilometre to a shop behind us. So he's got a long walk to go and get a beer and come back. Whereas in fact, what Jay and the lads and Aaron didn't realise is that the Red Bridge that you can see right in front of us, there's a Sainsbury's 24-hour shop there. So they could have been back ages ago. And when they come back and they say, "Did you enjoy that long walk to Tesco's?" Guess what, lads? There's a Sainsbury's over there. I can nearly see it. Because that's what we like, aren't we, with fishermen? We mean, and Andy Boynes just sent a message saying, yes, that's where he fancies going to the town hall steps. So, Andy, just tell me, what bait do you fancy using? Because it's a Sunday and all the bait shops in Liverpool are closed on a Sunday. So, angling direct, fridge. So, but I'm still thinking that the best bait that me and Andy used to sea fishing recently has been raw freshwater prawns. We've absolutely smashed fish on those when Andy been out.
Someone's actually told me prawns good for carp as well.
Yeah, good for perch. A raw freshwater prawn would be a great bait on here. But, yeah, and I don't know what. Is there a difference between raw freshwater prawns or cooked prawns? I don't know. See, the thing is, maybe anglers say, "Oh, use the raw ones." Then, if you get hungry while you're fishing, you won't eat your own bait. I've done that in the past with sweet corn. I've got hungry, I've had a tin of sweet corn, I've thrown half of it in. I thought, do you know what? I'm hungry. I'm having the rest of this.
Well, Dan whipped his bait bag open earlier on. He was looking for his boilies, and he opened it, and he's got 2 tins of luncheon meat in there. I said, "You got the luncheon meat in there?" I said, "Is it still in date?" He said, "Yeah, it's tinned. We wait till 2023." I said, "Get that on the frying pan in the morning."
I can eat luncheon meat raw.
Yeah. Don't eat it. You don't eat processed meat. Southerner for you. That's what it is.
Well, when I was a kid, my parents used to make us luncheon meat sandwiches.
Well,
straight out of the
it's
tin.
Expensive now.
I know it is. It's good bait.
We did. It's even like make a corned beef hash, you know. Jesus Christ, it costs you an arm and a leg. Might as well get a steak.
Now, do you know something? I've never really liked corned beef hash.
Love it.
Was that corned beef out of a tin?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Again,
It's the best part.
see, when I was a kid growing up, it was one of those cheap meals that my parents made me, and I absolutely hated
You
it.
can have it either or.
Oh no! Really never liked corned beef.
Yeah.
If you don't like corned beef, press the thumbs up button.
Spam, I love spam.
Well, everyone likes spam.
Yeah, but £3.50 a tin now.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it?
It used to be a poor man's meal.
Well, England's a third world nation now.
Got to thank the Americans for spam though.
Why?
It come from America.
Did it?
Yeah.
Mm.
I think it's World War One or World War Two.
Processed meat. Yum yum yum. Tell you what, Aaron. I think you actually got bait on these hooks. You sure?
And whatever I've got left over from the oven.
Did you put it on a PVA bag or anything like that?
I'll bait boat it out.
You bait boated out on here? You
Oh,
mad?
yeah, right.
You catch most of the fish under your rod tip.
Take care of the carp, yeah. How's that? Oh, nice. What basin's he on? What at the bottom? Oh, nice. Nice.
Someone caught fish?
Yeah, well, a lad's had one down at the bottom.
What, on Ontario?
No, bottom there.
Oh, the other end of here? Down here? Near the anchorage?
Is that the bottom of what we're fishing on?
Yes, ask him, is he next to the anchorage?
Yeah. Is he on the wooden platform? Yeah. He's on Ontario on the wooden platform.
So he's on, yeah, he's on the next one. So on the
nice
on the
one.
water sports. How big?
Does it? You're going to photo?
Take a
It looks
photo
like
and
the
send
bigger.
it.
Is that the bigger one that Caden had?
So he's had a big common.
Is that common? Oh, nice. Nice. Take note of your spot. Take note of your spot.
Is he going to weigh it?
Yeah, tell him to get some scales on it. Photo it for him.
So
You're going to photo it for him?
we just heard that one of the other anglers who's fishing
Okay.
on the
Yeah,
dock
nice.
behind us, so not this one, the slightly smaller dock,
Right.
has just had a 30 plus common,
Alright,
£30 plus common carp. So fair play to him. Catching a fish in January on here is hard work, and catching the biggest fish in the lake in January is even better.
What's in its mouth?
What bait did he catch it on?
I don't know.
Ask him. Oh, I'm jealous.
It's a big, nice.
So this is the fish that we were discussing before with Aaron.
Is it? Send pictures over.
And it came out last spring
Alright,
at
mate,
£34 6
Alright,
ounces.
Right.
So Aaron reckons it might have gone up to 37 by this year.
I'll play easy spring.
So we'll just have to, we'll just see. So the lad who's caught it, is he going to weigh it?
Yeah, we'll wait a photo, send them over. when
He's
it's
going to weigh it and photo and send it over to us. So we'll see what happens.
Dan said it's wide.
Yeah, well, some of the really big ones in there, like beach balls,
Yeah.
they're absolutely huge, wide, broad fish.
A couple of big ghosters in here, haven't
Yeah. So no, there's only, I think there's one, and that fish I know for a fact used to swim in the River Irwell before it swam in here.
there? Right.
So it's one of the ones that some of the locals have had a rod on one side, caught a fish, and then lifted it over and put it on this side, like the musical carp thing.
So is that class, the other side of that, is that class of the Euro?
Yeah. But the other side of the road, in the basins there, that's actually the Manchester Ship Canal.
Right.
But in essence, it is the River Irwell. But once it reaches a certain point, its name changes from the River Irwell to the Manchester Ship Canal. And also, because of the rivers, because of the seasons on fishing rivers in the UK, once it gets to whatever it's 15th of March or whatever, I've forgotten the date off the top of my head, but once it gets to the end of the course season, you can't fish on one side of the river because it's a river. So you go under the bridge, you fish the other side of the bridge, and it's classed as the Ship Canal, and you can fish it all year round.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Well, I noticed that when I went down to London.
I've never been a fan of the close season.
No, I don't. And when I went down to London, London's very, very finicky on it. They shut all their park lakes.
Well, I suppose if it's council, it's their lakes, their rules, isn't
Yeah.
it? So.
Yeah, they shut their park lakes. I was trying to get on their park lakes when I was down in London working. Bless me.
No, I've just had 2 weeks of horrible flu.
Do you know what? I've had it for about 4 months.
Well, it feels like it because my son had it first, then my daughter had it, then they passed it on to me for Christmas and New Year.
Yeah. Well, I got it first.
And I took everyone away on holiday, and for a week's holiday, and spent nearly the whole week either in bed in front of the log fire, yeah, or just like generally feeling rubbish.
Well, I got ill.
5 hour drive in each direction. Rubbish.
I got ill first, wiped the house out, got better, not 100%. Then the little one went to school after having a week off, bought something else and give it to me.
I know. And the fishing's been rubbish as well in the last 6 weeks because it's done nothing. This is probably one of the first dry evenings we've had in ages because it's just the weather's
Well,
been
to be honest,
rubbish.
I looked at the weather
It's just
forecast.
been wet.
This is the coldest it's been for a few days. I
Yeah.
looked at the weather forecast and it was torrential till about 1 o'clock. And I said to Dan, do you know what, it's going to be a washout this, but I'm going anyway. I don't mind packing down in the rain, but it's setting up in the rain.
Well, I nearly went to Drinkwater Park this evening, and then I just thought, you know what? My wife came and rolled in at about 5 o'clock after an afternoon out with the friends, and I just thought, I can't be bothered walking down the hill. It's a really steep hill from you. You know where I live. It's a really steep hill from my house down to Drinkwater Park. It's fine going fishing, but on the way back, Phil calls it Heart Attack Hill. He has to stop like 6 or 7 times to get his
Does he have a
breath.
flag in between?
Yeah, of course he does. You know what Phil's like, 80 a day. He'll never pack up. Why should he?
I remember my gran at night going to the doctor saying I want to give up smoking. She smoked 60 a day.
Yeah.
He went, if you give up smoking, you'll die.
That's the one, yeah. Your lungs won't be able to cope with the change. One of the best things I ever did, I smoked from something like, I don't know, 13 till I was 23. And best thing I ever did, giving up smoking.
Well, I gave up for 3.5 years.
You went back to it?
I went to Tenerife
Mad.
on a stag do, and I didn't smoke until the last day, and I came in absolutely wanking.
Turns my stomach.
I was absolutely,
Smell of it.
absolutely bladdered. The lad that was staying with, he was a smoker. He had him on the table, and I went and had one of these and smoked ever since then.
So
3.5 years.
I was in Gambia in West Africa a few years ago with my wife on holiday, and we met this guy, an African guy on the beach, and he's like, I'll be your guide. And you know what, I don't care because they need to make a little bit of money. So I said, yeah, no problem, we're going to go, all we're doing is we're walking from this town to the next town, and then we're going to get the bus back again.
Yeah.
And he said, I said to him, just join us and have a chat. And as we were walking along, he said, oh, do you want a smoke of this? Oh, yeah, well, go on then, I'm on holiday, why not? And I don't know what it was, but it was like some form of their version of marijuana.
Yeah.
And I had like two or three blasts on it. and my face just turned white. Because I hadn't had any for so long. No tobacco, no nothing for so many years. I just threw a complete white in. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Oh, I'm not having any more of that. You're all right.
I can't.
Too strong for me that now. I'll stick to my Ovaltine and coffee.
Makes me sleep.
But when I was a student years ago, I was terrible. Honestly,
We've all been there.
we've been there, done that. Yeah. Booze and other illicit smokables. That's terrible. So I used to write lyrics to fantastic lyrics to songs, and then I wake up in the morning, read it, and go, "Did I really write that? That's it. Someone must have grabbed my hand and made me write that. Can't be me."
I'm just reading, obviously, you posted on Salford Quays about Crucians.
Oh yeah.
And that's the Prince commenting about top end of the old river being full of fish.
Yeah, I know what it means.
It is.
I know it is, but we can't net them.
Catch
The
'em.
nature reserve.
Catch 'em.
We'll do it then. Hey, the boys have come back from. It's a long way, isn't it, to Tesco?
Big carp.
Is it a big
Yeah,
fish?
little wolf round though.
It's a big one, up and 20, it's gotta be.
Is it a big one?
It's definitely a unit, mate. I don't know if it's the same one, but it's a unit.
Oh,
So looking at the size of it and the width on it, it's gotta be up to 20.
He's,
not 30.
he's
upper 20s.
Is he buzzing?
He's so
Yeah,
happy.
Is he
mate.
buzzing?
Are you lads happy?
Hey,
Are you
Happy
lads
for him,
happy?
yeah.
what is that say?
No, just in general, you're happy. You walked all the way to Tesco.
Oh, he's got
Oh,
something
no.
to say. He's got something to
I've
say.
got some news for you, because if you actually got on Google Maps and had a look, just on the other side of that bridge over there, like 50 yards away, there's a 24-hour Sainsbury's. Aaron knew that, and he didn't,
didn't
on
know it, he
purpose.
just told me.
He didn't tell you that on purpose because he's so mean.
Well, pretty.
He's meant to be. Yeah, there's no swearing on YouTube. He's meant to
That's
be your
not
friend.
swearing, though, is it?
No, you're alright.
Sorry.
He's meant to be your friend, and he's just sent you off on this massive chase down
Well,
to Tesco's.
We actually did go for a little walk in that
Did you?
place. Yeah.
Did you see anything?
No, but I've not. This is the first time I've been up here.
Is it?
Probably, yeah. So
Brilliant place.
I just having a nose round.
So you've only had one pint comment on the post
You want to make some closer?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
off Dave Shilton. Yeah, one pint comment.
Do I think it's a valid comment?
It is a very, very,
You
very
have-
valid.
Do you want that drink still? Cup of tea? With
I've
But I'm going to have a chat with Andy after we've stopped those fish tomorrow.
Fill it up again.
I'm going to have a chat with Andy. I'm going to Rixton Village Community Centre for their coffee. I've been invited to. I'm getting old now. I've been invited to a coffee morning with the other retired people.
What's the EA going to give us?
Who knows?
When would we expect that?
Who knows? I'll have to have a chat with Woody. When they do some emergency nettings or something like that throughout the year, I'll just that's where we're up to. But I think I need to just phone him up and remind him.
Why didn't we net that part of, or was it the canal that was decimating up Liverpool way?
Oh, because those fish.
Was it by the power station?
Yeah, on the Sankey Canal. So those fish from the Sankey Canal, because the canal was owned by the local authority, the fish belong to the local authority. So the fish from the Sankey Canal that were netted and electro-fished, they've all gone into local park lakes in that, I think, is it Warrington local authority.
Right.
So I know the people who did the work, and I asked them, could we have some fish? And they said, well, no, because the local authority have got a plan for them. He said, but the next time we net somewhere and they haven't got a plan, he said, if we can get permission from Salford Council who own this water, written permission to say that we'll accept fish without a health check,
Yeah.
emergency fish, then we can bring them to here, because they obviously do loads of work here. It's easy for them. So Salford Council have given that letter.
Right.
So there is a chance, because the netted fish and electro-fished out of that canal that they had to drain to high 20s, which is amazing. High 20s from a little canal.
Saw it was all over Facebook and everything.
Yeah.
Saw it. It was a power station, wasn't it?
Yeah, so the water from the canal used to come out of the cooling station, power from the cooling station towers. From the power station. So the power station had cooling towers, it's a coal-fired power station. So they abstracted the water from Sankey Brook, ran it through the power station towers to cool. It's a cooling tower. And then the water went into a lake to cool down, and then into the Sankey Canal. And when the power station shut down, stopped doing any compensation flow from the power station into the canal, so the canal sort of like slowly decimated and deoxygenated and everything else. So yeah, that's the story behind the Sankey Canal.
Jay, do you have a competition for the share?
What do you mean?
See who has the first 20 out of the old river.
Ooh. Yeah, you see, but the problem when you do that is if Jay's not there, I know for a fact that Aaron, you have to have independently witnessed and audited weigh-ins.
Well, no,
Yeah.
Because he's missed the fingers, isn't he? He'll put his finger on the bottom of the waist sling and just...
All lads in there.
He'll catch 21, he'll catch a fish that's 20 and a
They did that in
quarter.
America, didn't they? There was like this big bass or something, and they fed it leads or something.
That's right, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's big money in American fishing
Yeah,
in these
yeah.
competitions, isn't there?
Yeah.
Where it's in this country, you're lucky to win a tin of beans and a can of Coke.
Well, your big competitions are Fishermania, aren't they?
Yeah, but our club fishing matches, you know, you win 30 quid worth of tackle vouchers and a bag of ground bait.
But that's different. The funds go back into.
Yeah, we recycle the money, don't
That's what
we?
it is. What's that?
Oh, mate, I watched him.
So whereabouts on there is it? Whereabouts is he on it? So I walked down and at the sports centre.
Straight down.
Yeah.
Straight in front of you.
Oh, is that? I didn't see him.
Saturday's van.
Oh, he's the same. Right, no, I didn't see him.
That's cheating to sit in your van with the heater on while you're fishing, isn't it?
On the jetter, like little jetter thing, yeah. Yeah. So I phoned Carpers, who did a couple of videos in there. They fished on the other side, but what he was doing, he was waiting for all the sports and the swimming to finish. He was setting up at like 9 o'clock, but he worked on the quays.
Yeah,
And what he was doing, coming down on his dinners,
baiting up.
raking and baiting up. And he was doing nights on here, packing up and going to work.
And he was packing up at 8 o'clock as the sport, so he never bothered the people at at the water sports centre, which is the big deal on here.
But what,
Oh, so what, you can fish
you can fish anywhere, innit, as long as you don't cause any issues.
anywhere?
You know what, you're not even meant to night fish it.
You're not. Well, first of all, we're not meant to be, because we're not meant to be. There's no night fishing
On any
Yeah.
Salford friendly on these waters.
on any of our waters. This bit we don't actually have any fishing rights on because it's owned by Peel Holdings, not the Salford Council. This dock is owned by Peel Holdings, not Salford Council,
Do you know why? Do you know why they won't give this up?
because
You
of
know why?
open.
Because everyone night fishes it. It's just why you're not allowed to do it is because there was some dirty man.
You don't want to disturb the neighbours who live in these houses
Yeah, there was
behind
some
us.
dirty sods
Having a wee
having a wee
and a
having
dump in
wide
public view,
Public view.
and also they were like shouting and screaming at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. And these houses and these flats behind us, you can't really. I'll show people. They're literally there. So
That's why. I thought
that's why.
It's
So
all
that, I
down-
don't blame them for complaining because
any
they're
Salford
antisocial
water,
behaviour
so
from the
even
anglers.
down to the old river. It's just the way it runs, but it's all done in.
I mean, we're very lucky because Salford Council are really understanding and they want people to go fishing, but also on the other hand, they've got to look after the interests of the local people.
I think
So-
you need a couple of young bucks on the social media side of it to try and push it.
But what we tend to do is we just turn around to people and say, well, you can fish, but if you cause any trouble and the police come, we just told the council and everybody else, it's antisocial behaviour, just call the police and get people to be moved
That'll
on.
be your motto when it comes to Bretons.
Yeah, no, it already is. We've said that.
Motto when it comes to Bretons.
Come on, you watchers on YouTube, press the like button. The more you press the like button, the more likely these lads are to get a run on one of their rods. You know how karma works. So give us some good karma. Press the like and subscribe button, and these lads are gonna get a real screaming run.
Am I doing more bleeps on that middle road? No?
Yeah, you've had one more bleep.
One.
Yeah, but a single bleep.
Yeah, it's
I wondered if it was like a gust of wind has hit your swinger.
saying that, it's not been that windy though,
Yeah, but it was swinging.
was it?
Yeah. It could also just have been a liner.
Yeah. Well, no, we're backleaded, pinned down.
Are they?
Well, yeah, all rods are backleaded.
Yeah, but whilst you're backleaded, your line is still vertically down, isn't it?
He is, yeah,
Yeah.
It is right. It could be liners.
Because your line's vertically down.
It's 32 or what, 37 foot, whatever it is. Where you're backleaded, it could still be. thing, it's all flat, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is one of the things that upsets me about people fishing the Keys. You cast here, there and everywhere, but if you've got a fishing tank at home or a garden pond, what do your fish do? They swim round the outside
Yeah.
of your tank. So you have to, when you fish this place, you have to think about it like a fish tank. So the fish are constantly doing laps of the edge, because the edge is where the habitat is. Yeah, with all of the mussels and stuff growing on the wall. So if you want to catch a fish, for me on the Keys, I mean, some people online will tell you different, but for me, your best place is fish right down the edge.
Well, lads, you got one down the edge,
One down the edge, you dropped it down there,
watered it down, dropped a few kilo boilers in it. I've got one smack bang on that edge over there. I've got one in the open.
Well, literally, if it was me, I'd be literally fishing in like a 6 centimetre bag, PVA bag, and that'd be it, not kilos. I'd have hardly any bait on, because it's winter.
That's free moment there.
Well, I don't mind. I don't
Cruise
mind.
done.
I don't object to anybody throwing kilos of bait in. Feed our fish.
they clean cuts.
What?
Well, if you only had coffees in anyway, so it makes no fucking difference. Yeah, you fucked off, so sorry.
Pulling up.
We're doing another 20 minutes and I'm going.
I forgot you were streaming on Pornhub.
Yeah, I know. Pornhub. I've never been on that site in my life.
Man's best friend when you've got
No. There's others that are better. But that's what the internet was invented for, to be fair. Fishing, gambling and the other XXX stuff.
Well, I walked in,
With work being the bottom of the queue.
do you know that Premier near us? They've still got a top shelf.
You
I've not seen a top shelf in a shop for years, and they've still got a top shelf in that Premier near us.
Wow.
Do you know-
Oh man.
But then again, I mean, you see, the thing is, like, it's different in a Premier convenience store. But years ago, it used to be the petrol station. But no, everyone pays at the pump now, so you never go in. Top shelf. What are you like?
Yeah, top shelf. It was
Yeah. Can I have a
it's
copy of the Times and a Fiesta,
But it's
please?
not as blatant as it used to be when I was a kid. It was just all on show. They've got cardboard in front of the magazines now.
Well, they don't want to offend. You don't want to offend. That's the whole thing. You don't want to offend anybody anymore, do you? The whole world's quick to take offence.
Yeah.
Whereas it's much better to live and let live, isn't
Do you
it?
know what? Out of all the years I've been fishing, I've never encountered a Karen. Has anyone?
I want to though.
Has
I
anyone
want to.
encountered? Have you ever encountered a Karen while fishing?
No, I haven't.
That
to be
gives you
fair.
earache for catching fish.
No, not yet.
Want to, though, because it's,
Say that again.
Go with-
I want to do that then.
There was a lad that commented on that post that you put called Gareth.
Oh yeah.
That's Brian's cousin. He says you
Gareth lad, yeah, and if you ever want to borrow the boat.
Motor, whenever.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Might
gig.
be worth getting it out in the spring to do
Yeah,
some
get mine.
cutbacking and getting the.
Definitely. Yeah.
Brian has done me out. He won't be doing much more.
Oh, don't
now.
worry.
It just it's what it is. I wouldn't even try building.
I'm not worried in the least.
Yeah,
See, the
no,
thing is,
it's a very stubborn. So it is.
yeah, I mean, he's a lovely fellow, but he just wants it his way, and it's not going to be his way. So that's the life. That's the rub of it.
I tried explaining it to him.
My way or the highway with him, isn't it? So.
Anyone want a coffee?
Mate, you want another coffee?
Oh no, I'm
Maybe
fine,
one.
thanks.
No, I'm alright, I've got a beer. Yeah, no, it's what it is. So you say you put in for a grant for the disabled pegs?
I haven't yet. But I know where I'm going to. Yeah.
They need bringing up quite a lot.
Yes.
They're very, very under. I went down and chucked some pellet in the other day.
Oh yeah, but it's the water level's high. That's
Yeah.
why.
Because we can't get on the other side.
I know.
Clear it out.
Well, we can and we will. The problem with the other side is that the locals feed the ducks and the rats. There's so many rats there. I don't want to get in
Do you know
and do
what,
the work
Jake?
because I don't want to get all the
Where
nasty
do you
rat
find the
diseases.
rats worst? Gregson's or the old river?
Gregson.
Right? The rats don't bother you on the old river. On
There are
Greg's-
big rats on there though.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the problem is that it's in the woods at the bottom end of the old river. The woods there. That's where we're gonna have to go in and thin that and open that channel up, and that's where the sewage overflow is, and that's where all the old ladies go and so-called feed the birds with grain, and all they're doing is that's why you've got great big fat rats.
You
Because
did it on
they
the
think
path as well.
they're improving the wildlife, and actually all they're doing is They'll stand there for 20 minutes, watch a sparrow come along, peck at the grain, walk off, and then as soon as the old lady's gone, there's like great half a dozen great big fat dirty rats come and pile in on it.
No one's ever caught a rat before, have they?
I've got a rat law. I've got one of those savage gear rat laws.
Dan caught a
You
rat.
caught a rat?
He caught a rat in the summer on floating bread. So he don't
Oh,
only catch
dear.
rudd on floating bread. What else did he catch? His rats.
If you actually look on my last live video, I caught a pigeon at
pigeon?
Castlefield.
I had
But
a seagull pick
It was
up.
catch and release, I did let it go.
I had a seagull pick up my Corda Interceptor. On Gregson's.
I've got a rat law that I bought from Savage Gear
Right.
at 12 quid, like jointed rat law, and
I'll tell you what though,
I've not caught anything on it yet. Though.
in the spring, when the pike's spawn,
March normally.
right? And I only know this from fishing on the old river. The hammer the frogs.
Oh, I know.
The hammer 'em. So if you want to
Frog
catch 'em,
law.
frog law.
Yeah, I've got duck laws. I bought a pack on eBay for a bit of fun. I bought a duck law, a frog law, and a rat law.
Yeah.
So,
That's one for you as well, Jay. Jay.
Yeah.
In the spring,
but I haven't caught
Just
any.
after the
I haven't
pike
caught
spawn.
any of them.
Some frog laws, I've tried it.
they hammer the
Yeah.
frogs, mate, and I've heard them
Yeah, the
hammering
boat
them, mate.
house where them pads are, they're all
Hammering them, mate, literally. I remember doing a night and all I could hear was like whash, 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 mate, hammering the frogs in the margins. Is there any perch size in the old river?
I've never caught a big perch in the old river.
No, I've never seen it.
No.
Not many.
See that one little one?
I've seen that one little one that hiding behind. Was that when tackling mines were on?
Might be.
Might
Yeah, it
be.
was actually.
The biggest I've seen is about a pound, just
Any
over a pound,
stickleback
pound and a
around
half.
there, though?
Say again?
Stickleback or anything in there?
No.
It's like the scrap, you know, the old cord.
We should get some sticklebacks and minnows and drop them in, shouldn't we?
You just can't buy them.
Which one them for?
Fat
Fatten the perch up.
Fatten everything up.
Yeah.
I mean, carp.
Carp
I've caught carp and bream on little 5 centimetre shads,
Yeah, they do take
little
a
soft
law.
laws. Yeah.
Can't do take a law. If they're wrong.
One of
they'll
my
take
one of my
everything.
friends on here, Ballint, he caught an 8-pound bream here on a soft law.
Yeah, I know. They will.
And then
do.
because he's Hungarian, all the internet warriors going, oh, you try to snatch fish out, and did you put it back and all that rubbish? It's miles better fish than what most of them the moaners put together.
Yeah, no, like that ginger fisherman on YouTube, he's had quite a few bream and
Yeah.
carp on law.
Bream, especially around about spawning period,
Yeah.
They just-
they go for laws. I've had them moorings on the Bridgewater Canal and the moorings. I've had bream on laws
do
there.
they, Jake, you might have walked it a bit more than me. Do you know Pycroft Bridge?
Yeah.
Do you know, you turn right as you're going towards Trafford Centre, you walk up the canal there. You ever seen a bream swarm in there?
I have. I think
Mate,
I've seen
in the
both of them.
thousands, in the
Yeah.
thousands.
Not
You ever
big
seen
ones,
them here at
small
Pomona?
ones,
Do they see
In
them
May
there?
and April, there's
Yeah, I came out of
shoals of
college,
bream,
went
and
to
the
walk
smallest
in
bream in the
about
shoals like
1,000
Yeah,
£7.
there's loads of them. They breed like
Canal.
hell there.
in the shit canal, yeah.
No, Bridgewater.
In the Bridgewater.
About November I went and there was just thousands of them sat there. Not big, but little ones.
I've seen a
Well,
30.
do you know what I'm going to do this year? This can make you laugh. I'm actually going to buy a Warrington ticket, so that when I'm YouTubing on the canal, no one can point a finger at me and say that I'm freeloading on their canal. It's only 25 quid for a mountain
Just for
tackle.
the canal one?
For a canal ticket, yeah.
No, won't it?
See, in the past, I've always done a little bit of work for Warrington anglers at Grey Mist, and they've always turned around and said, "Oh, we'll give you a free ticket, or we'll pay you." And I've never taken any money, and I've never taken a ticket. But Frank, I mean, he was the chairman for years. He's retiring slowly. They got a new secretary, and I met him, and he's turned around and said, "Oh, I'll give you a free ticket, but I don't like to get free stuff." Do you know what I mean?
Perks, isn't it? At the end of the day?
Yeah. They asked me to do them a favour, which I can't say what it is on here, at Grey Mist, and I go and do it every year. It takes me half an afternoon, and they enjoy doing it.
Well, it's just
So-
you not just exchange a favour for a favour.
I'll give them a free Salford Friendly Anglers ticket.
No, a favour for their club, a favour for our club.
Well, yeah, but what they do is, they've turned around to me and said that any time we want to have a pipe match and include the Bridgewater Canal as part of the circuit from here to Manchester City Centre and back, we can use their canal. Just let us know in advance, and that's a good enough trade-off, isn't it? So.
Can we get any bearded roach?
Well, if you speak to the man who's delivering the Crucian carp tomorrow, he's the breeder of bearded roach.
Well, I'll have a word with him tomorrow.
Why can't you come?
I'll be here.
Oh,
I'm here till 2, 3 o'clock.
so you're going out fishing and you're expecting me to stop work and go to the old river to supervise the stocking of the fish that you've organised and paid for?
Well, I ordered the fish.
Oh dear.
Got them delivered.
You need to take some responsibility
You know
out.
what? It was quite quick on delivering, to be honest. 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's
It
not
came in
bad.
3 weeks.
Yeah, but this is the time of the year that the fish farmers want to get the fish out, isn't it? Because
It's like I
It's the time-
really wanted them gudgeon. I don't know why.
Seriously.
I really wanted them gudgeon.
I'd like gudgeon as well.
What's that?
What's wrong with you?
I wanted gudgeon in your river.
They used to be there before the
Used to be there
pollution.
before.
Was it your idea about the cruise?
No, it might.
Wasn't my idea.
Whose was it?
Don't pin it on me. It's not my idea at all. It's the last fish that I put in there. I personally would have bought more tench.
It's very tench heavy. I don't think it needs any more tench.
See, the thing is that because we raised money with the match lads
They want
semi-expect
fish back
they want
in there.
fish. They don't think that there's a benefit from us buying a.
Yeah, so
Pellets.
basically, because
We were advised. I went to the EA and said, "What should we do? What fish should we buy? What would you do?" And they said, "What I'd do is I wouldn't buy any more fish. I'd buy sacks of 25 kilo sacks of pellets and throw them in,
It does
Um,
need a feeding.
and get a feeding regime going. And then that's how you get the best value for money." And
that's what
I
Moss
agree
Farm-
with them.
That's what Moss Farm's not got.
Yeah.
And if he does feed them, he feeds them on sweet corn.
Does it? Why does he feed them on? It's quite low protein, low food.
All they do is eat and shit. That's all they do.
But
That's
what
all
I'm
they do.
saying.
You can't say that word.
Try and set up like a GoFundMe page and just get see if people donate towards either having a regular feed or getting more food.
Yeah, we see it's dead easy for us. All we do is we put a raffle on Facebook, and we always make about 300-400 quid every time we do it. But I don't like taking money off people when we don't have to, because the club's now got a little bit of money in the bank. So
Yeah.
why do I want to go and keep asking
So
the
basically-
members for money when we don't need to?
So basically, the matches that you have on there during the summer, when you have like 10.
It's average 10 anglers, don't they?
Average 10 anglers, and how many matches? Like 10 to 15.
Yeah, 12 matches.
12 matches, 10 anglers, and it's a tenner an head.
So it works out. We make about 1,000 quid because
About
we've got
1,000
costs and
quid,
stuff like
But
that.
that always goes back into
The restocking, club's
fund
restocking
for the
fund.
old river. So obviously, we've got to put fish back into the old river. I don't think it needs many more carp, to be honest.
Well,
from my
I think the
opinion.
carp got thinned out very quickly when we stocked them.
I genuinely feel like you could do a few more carp, and I ain't saying that just because I'm a carp fisherman, but I genuinely feel like you could do a few more. I also think it'd be nice to have barbel, but you're not allowed.
Well,
Yeah, we're not allowed.
we're calling them bearded roach. So the person.
Now you're talking live on YouTube, so you shouldn't be saying what you're thinking in case those fish ever appear in that lake when they shouldn't be there.
They're not allowed to be.
Yeah, I won't have anything to do with it. It's got nothing. The club won't be happy if that happens. In the same way, because I have occasionally get emails or messages from people saying, "I just thought I'd let you know, Mike. I let 5 barbel go in drinkies last night, and oh, don't do it, because you don't know what you're transferring from one lake to the next. And we've spent all of this time bringing a lake back from having nothing in it when it got polluted. So having anglers thinking they're doing us a favour by bringing a fish home from somewhere or taking it from one water to the other and bringing parasites and diseases from a commercial to a public park lake.
Well,
So you might end up bringing 1 or 2 fish in, think you're doing a favour, and then we have to start again from square one. So it's best to do it by the book.
Well, Gregson's and the old river, they're the same water. The water runs from Gregson's.
Into the old river. And when we stock, and every time we stock
It's shocking there's no way
the old river, some of the fish swim
No.
through the park and go in the
no
old
way of them
Gregson's.
transferring.
Yeah, they grow legs.
There is a pie.
And people say, "Oh, I've never done it. It doesn't happen," but it does, because the strain of carp that went into the old river from Will are very unique in colour, and we can recognise that colour of his strain of fish in the fish at Gregson's. So they're not a normal coloration of carp. You see, they're very grey and orange, and the only place that you can buy them in the UK is from this fish farmer called Will. So unless somebody in the past has bought fish and put them in a public park lake in Earlham out of their own pocket at vast expense, and Will wouldn't sell them to people who weren't a fishing club or didn't have the correct paperwork anyway. The only explanation for those fish is that they've been lifted out of the old river after we've stocked them, and someone's decided to stock Gregson's from the old river.
Could you get permission if we were willing to put in a bit of money together and buy like the odd 1 or 2 fish?
Yeah, but if you buy a 20 or 30 pound carp,
No, I'm not.
all that's going to happen is some
I'm
nice
talking
person's
like
going to
a
come along, fish it
mid-double-
out and take it home with them.
Like a double.
Mid-double
Obviously,
straight now.
Yeah, but
Right.
why bother?
I-
Because you can buy a £3. You can buy a £3 carp for, including VAT and delivery, 20 quid, and in 3 years' time it's a double anyway.
Yeah.
So you're actually better off spending money on feeding policy.
What I'm getting at is, I actually genuinely wouldn't mind, because knowing it's going to benefit our fishing, I wouldn't mind putting in my own money to do that sort of thing.
What they do say though is, so we spent £1,000 on cruising carp, right? And it's between 360 and 400 depending on what come.
Yes,
Right.
it works on the weight of fish.
It works on the weight, basically the weight of the fish. I just said I got £1,000. I want X amount of fish delivered with VAT and delivery. What they do say though, Dan, is say you buy 1,000 fish, expect to lose 25% of them. Is it 25?
25%. No, it's 25% in the first year and another 25% in the second
That's
year.
not even to do with just like pipe and stuff.
No, that's just could be anything, mate. Change
Stress,
of environment. What you got to remember?
stress, yeah.
These fish have come from a fish farm that are fed high protein pellets all year round.
And probably antibiotics.
And antibiotics in the
in a
pellets.
lake with no parasites. Yeah.
And then they come into a lake that could be infested with anything.
Where with predators, cormorants, you name it, all sorts
They've never had to fight for food. They've never had to fight off a pipe.
flukes and parasites and
Yeah.
everything else.
So you lose percentage of the fish. So you think, say if you had 10 grand, right, and you bought, say, for 10 grand, if I work it out, you could probably get 10, 14 to 18 pound fish delivered VAT. Yeah. You lose 25 in the first 25% of them fish.
You're losing 3 a year,
Losing,
three in the
lose
first
3 a
year, and then 2 in the second.
You might not, but you might.
So the EA saying, if we stock 100 fish,
So
and
it's
if you've
more
got
beneficial spending your £1,000 on buying 500 small fish
and feeding them,
and feed and just saying, you know what, fucking free for all, chuck the front in and just go for it. Because out that, say you get 500 fish, 200 might survive.
Yeah.
Get to that size.
Much better than that.
It's just the way the
it's just saying you get
ecology
much.
works.
Yeah, if 50% of them have died after the first 2 years, then it's a lot of money to spend on dead fish. So actually, what you're better off. In an ideal world, you're better off just feeding your existing fish population. I'm going now.
Just got them in a bottle.
I'm in my last 3 minutes. So for those of you who have been listening in and waiting for a bite, we haven't had one yet, but still give me a thumbs up and give me a subscribe, because the more thumbs up I get, the better I move up the I nearly said it then.
Pecking order.
Facebook, but I didn't mean on Facebook, I meant YouTube algorithm, and I can say that because I've not had a can of beer so far this year and I've got my teeth in. Pecking order. Come on. Yeah, someone's listened to me. I've got another like. Got another thumbs up. I'm on a grand total of 5 now. I'm freezing. I only came out of the house, you know, so told my wife I'm going to come down and see you for half an hour and then go and get her a takeaway. She's at home starving.
Munches.
Yeah, probably. So anyway, that's enough. We've not had a bite yet. You're staying until 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
It'll probably be around about 2 o'clock.
Well,
Have to let us know how you get on with stocking them fish.
I think you're mad. I'm going to, tomorrow. I've got some work to do.
Part and parcel.
I'm going to oversee the restocking of these fish, and then I'm going to go to Fiddler's Ferry on the Mersey
Okay.
in the afternoon, stroke evening, and I'm going to see if I can catch some flatfish when the tide comes in. How exciting is that?
Sounds good.
Anyway, hang on 1 minute. Thank you very much, and good night. You're going to say good night. They can only see you as a shadow, Aaron.
Laters.
Laters.
Oh, we just come